Okay, what's up, guys? It's your boy Bonadink. It's your boy Schwiddly Wham. It's your boy Cock and Balls. It's your boy. It's your boy. What's up, guys? Slam the like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more loading screens from video games while I open a coffee. I've gone native since Brexit. I decided to illegally swim over across the Atlantic Ocean, and I'm becoming a Brit, yeah? I'm going to be wanking all night on cam. Hardcore wanking. To the word that now can no longer have a hard R, but only a soft A to deign friendship. Not the one that starts with an N, but the one that starts with a C. And if I'm feeling frisky, we might throw some N's in there. Who knows? I'm going to crank my git off. That's not even like a phrase. I'm still learning the language, yeah? It's like a whole new thing. You know what a fucking pence was? I didn't know what a fucking pence was. I thought it was that little bold git. I'm Dan Cohen, round 2, British Jew. What's up? Yeah. I'm just going to say yeah a lot. And I got to remember to yell. That's like the big part of it. Look at that fucking loading screen. It just keeps coming. Right? That's all video game streaming is. You're sitting in a room, yelling, hoping that people are watching you yell. Gameplay doesn't even have to be fucking interesting. All the good streamers are just white boys who scream, so I went to the whitest island on the fucking face of the earth. Outside of Maine. And I'm going to blast my tits off. 2022? No, 2020 Jew. How am I coming in? I thought about doing Australia, yeah, but like that would be like, no. I don't know how you speak from your throat. For that fucking long. Yeah, checking for updates. I'm going to run some quests while we fucking do the pre-show. Oh, this is Dan Cohen showing off his shitty acting skills and why he never made it in acting. Let me be clear. We're going to play some Genshin Impact tonight. It's like when Obama played Titanfall. Obama plays Genshin Impact. Gotta get in the mindset. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Let me clearly be. Let me beef for thee. Let me eat my beef. Let me smell your queef. Ah, shit. What's my kid doing? What am I doing? Okay, so. Oh, yeah, I gotta do that Mondstadt quest. Okay, so first we're gonna talk to Vic. We're gonna talk to Sarah. Why is that blacked out? That's crazy. Woo! That's my map. That's my map, y'all. That's a wrap. It's my map. I don't know, I had a topic for tonight. I was like, we gotta come hard. We gotta come hard with the theory. We gotta come all over the theory. Theory has to be coming. And then I just, couldn't stop thinking about coming. I masturbated. And I was like, shit. Whoops. Drop my load there. I wonder if talking about sex stuff will get Twitch to ban you. Still says online. I'm wondering. Let me be clear. I'm fuck pig Obama. If you're a big ass white girl, I want to get down. My husband Michelle and I would love a threesome. Hell yeah. Alright, so the strategy on a moderate spender account is to dick around and buy flowers like a shit ton. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stand here and wait for the flower shop to open. We're going to do that for the next 7 hours, guys. In the meantime, go buy my merch. Merch. Go buy my merch. How the fuck? I don't know how people like Pleasant Kenobi pretend that that's their real voice all the time. Huh. I'll bring you a satisfying salad, Sarah, from the Good Hunter. Be so goddamn satisfying. Be so fucking satisfying, that salad. You watch. This is about to be the most satisfying motherfucking salad.
Mic check.
Ah!
Up.
That is louder than shit.
Okay, hang on.
A lot of echo.
Mic check.
It's still a lot of echo, but that could be on my end. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me start messing with things. Try now.
Mic check.
Nope, not that. Let me try this. Try
Microphone
now.
check.
Okay. Damn it, no notification noises. I have said that repeatedly. It is not in my contract, Windows. We're gonna open up the sound settings here. We're going to a deep dive. We're going into the sound settings.
God damn it.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Why did John say that shit? Why did John say that shit about Coffee Spoonie? Now all I can think about is like a 50-minute, maybe 45-minute audio drama where a person is arguing with somebody online and they're amazed by like how petty and pedantic they are. And then like their last few posts are like, well, guess I'm about polished off from old COVID. I'll see you motherfuckers on the other side. And then they're left alive with the knowledge that they were the person that the petty person argued with while they were dying of COVID.
Yeah.
Like,
that sounds like our friend.
It's just so bad.
That sounds like our friend the Spoon.
It's just so bad. It's just you're not supposed to laugh at it. You're supposed to just like step back and have a human moment and be like, wow, you know, we're only here for a little while. But then your brain just rockets right back to the fact of like, how did she spend her time? Motherfucker.
I don't know. Did she have COVID?
Well, that's what John found, one where she thinks she's gotten COVID from, or she got it, but she thinks she got it from some asshole that wouldn't mask around her at work and shit. And and she's in remission from cancer all at the same time. And it's like, that sounds like you ain't gonna make it legit. Like, but at the same time, all the stuff where she's posting about it is like amazingly petty.
Yeah.
Like, she abbreviates thank you very much. She's like, well, they just assumed that I wasn't immunocompromised because they said I looked so young and healthy. So I guess I won my argument about my disability being invisible. TVYM or whatever. And I'm just like, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever seen. I'm thinking about doing an episode of my old show.
Yeah, no. If you live by the post, dude, you got to die by the post.
Mm-hmm.
By the first post. That's the post that hurts the most.
She literally was. I was out there having a good old time today, like arguing with like boomers and shit for dunks and good times. Yeah. And then John found that shit, and I'm just like, oh my god.
All of my work has been for nothing.
Yeah, that guy I was dunking on today could have been like telling his nurse what to type. Could have been like hoarsely coughing at his nurse in his fucking ICU bed to like,
who the fuck knows what a Zangief is?
You tell that you tell that snarky motherfucker on Twitter that fucking Don Henley carried the Eagles.
You tell him that Joe Namath was a real quarterback. You tell him
it's
that.
Not.
Said Joe Montana, you idiot.
Joe Namath.
It's not fun
You tell him that Joan Rivers was a real quarterback.
Joan Rivers.
Joan goddamn motherfucking Rivers. That was a real fucking quarterback. Now, how did I slip off of Duvallin? Y'all seeing that shit? That is some bitch shit right there.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
let me pull up the window. Hang
Remember to
on.
mute it though, so we don't get an infinite loop, please.
Yeah. 1 sec.
Oh, look at that! I made it to the other platform.
I usually use the
I
YouTube.
didn't. I did not. Did I just break it?
When you do weekly bosses, do you do him? Which 3 do you usually do first? Because I have so much drops from them that I just don't use.
Well, like when you get those dream solvents, like you can convert those drops into other boss drops.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah. I think I did that once to crank up Noel or Beta or somebody.
Yeah. I'm gonna level with you. I am so shit poor on talents, it's not funny. Like I am ratchet as shit on talents.
I did something. I think the one time that I bought like a handful of Genesis crystals, I think I bought the talent books thing.
Okay.
So that kind of made it to where I just barely scrape by on talent books. But then I've been mobbing because I've been trying to crank up Eula and Noel at the same time. I just been mobbing that dungeon for resistance books. So that made it kind of easy too.
Okay. Well, you know what though? That's not a bad duo. I've only worked on Raiden's talents because I can get her to burst at like 80 or 90k.
That shit worked out good for me too because she's the only one I have that wants philosophy of light or whatever.
Yes.
Like I don't have like Yoimiya or anybody else. I can't think if that's who it is. There's somebody else that wants it, but I ain't got him.
That's good though because like that's way less infighting on your character reserves.
I need to get that little motherfucker you just had out, Diona. I need to crank that shit up. I need to make an all iced tea before the abyss changes. Because I got Eula, Rosaria, and if I could put in like Diona and Kiki for healing, but they're like
you won't need
fucking 30
Chi for healing because Diona is a healer.
That's what I need to do is just crank Diona up.
And she runs shields.
Mm-hmm.
Get that shit. This is a bad run tonight. I don't know why it was so bad. No, I know why it was so bad because I slipped off at Dvalin, which has never happened.
I always try to drop Rosaria's super on his head and just miss completely off the whole fucking stage.
I do that too. I literally do the same exact thing. I'm like, I know this is never gonna hit. I know I've only ever gotten that to work once. Yeah, right there, Dream Solvent. So that's the thing that like you can take.
Hey, John, I don't know what's going on either. I'm just listening.
We're in the pre-show. Who gives a shit? This is live. This is real.
Okay, we'll do it live.
Theater of the real.
I mean, obviously I've sucked that game's dick ever since I first started playing it. Like, but at the same time, like I gotta call it out, man. Like, I was just kind of barely backing off, and like I was kind of cutting back around for stuff that I'd saved for me to do with like the kids, with my old lady and shit. And then they're like, "Oh no, though, why don't you go down here and do all this? Why don't you go down here and in this fucking brand new dungeon world, do all this shit?" They're just in time with the content updates on this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, every 6 weeks, dude.
It's just amazing. It's fucking amazing. I watched the little videos, and they're so like if I didn't know that they were kind of doing what they liked or whatever, I'd think there was like somebody off screen with a gun, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just so like, no, we fixed it. We made it perfect. We made all these quality of life improvements. There was a mistranslation in the Portuguese version. We fixed it. Like, this special effect didn't show up right in this one room in this dungeon. We fixed that shit.
It's
like,
funny.
we love you. We love you, Traveler.
It's funny. It's funny that we say that because like the internet is like Mihoyo hates us.
Oh, well, they're just butthurt because their last roll didn't come out good or whatever.
Yeah,
they are.
Somehow it gets hated like crazy in like the forums and everything, and like it's got a really low review score, which just doesn't match like how shitty everything else is.
I can explain.
Like it's like. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. But I can explain that.
No, it's just like the
Genshin. The Chinese.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I would say that, but like the thing is that it's like people who play. It's like the thing with monads. People who play these games think these games like basically only exist as themselves, and it's the only game they fucking play. and like they're like vaguely aware of Minecraft or whatever, or not Minecraft, excuse me, a Fortnite or whatever, and like the fact that other games exist. But like when it comes time to post, no other game exists.
Right.
And like, yeah, it's like there's no context for that. And like on some level, I think that like the opposite has been true in the industry for a while, where like people will just be like, well, yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, there's X, Y, and Z shitty things, but we forgive it because it's better than everything else. And now we're like at the other end of it, which is like, this is the only fucking game we play and we're mad all the time.
Yeah,
so
is this tangentially related to like whenever you see a post on Steam or a review on Steam that's like, meh, it was okay or it was not so good, and then you look at it and it's like, I have 20,000 hours logged in this game.
Like they're spending they're doing one of two things. Also, they're either trying to spend nothing, which I get, but like, come on, like you've paid $60 for a game that you beat in a week. And then also like they're sometimes they're trying to spend like thousands of dollars to get up to like real whale level. Like there's no happy medium for these people. I'll tell you what the happy medium is. I threw enough at them. I bought like 1,600 primos when I was trying to get Eula. I'm perfectly happy with my C0 Eula and my R1 Pines. And then I never touched Weapon Banner again until just now. I got a fucking C0 Shinhei and a fucking R1 polearm for Shinhei. The fucking whatever it's called. The fucking Calamity Queller.
No shit.
And that's all I need. I don't need fucking constellations. Like, I've got like nothing else really. I don't have all the 5 stars. I don't have much. I got like 5 5-star weapons. But
holy fuck.
like,
I have one.
If you don't,
I have one across. No, I have 2 across like both my accounts.
I think they baited me into it both times that I bought 1,600 primos. They baited me into it because on the one, Pines increases Eula's attack speed, which is going to make that nuke stronger on her ultimate.
Yeah.
Like they did that shit on purpose. They made an easy way to increase attack speed. But then on the other one, Calamity Queller, I just thought like, okay, I did weapon rolls the last few times with my regular intertwines after I got Eula because I was happy with it. So I knew that thing had like 80 pity on it. And I was like, why don't I just stroll in here and get Queller? And there it was. Like if you're patient and you just like, it feels so good when you see the roll in your head before it goes down. Like I'll make my wife or my kid push the button. And I'll be like, you did that. Your lucky finger did that. You know, like you either like that element of the game or you don't.
And that,
you know?
And that pretty much determines how much you love it. All right, so here's the drums, right? Here's the drums. What happened was, like, everybody was mad that shit like Raiden doesn't synergize with Baido and electricity's quote-unquote weak, which, like, if you know how to, like, if you notice, like, a fire reaction is, like, a big explosion. If you notice, like, an ice reaction is a big lockdown, right? And crystallize gives you a bunch of shields, and the wind one just keeps pumping. It just adds DPS. So those are all like quote unquote top tier. The water one,
or like Sucrose, kind of sucks them together.
But it's not
pumps them up.
Like,
pumping them up's good.
It just, the thing that astounds me about it is this game.
You haven't even let me.
No, but like this game isn't competitive. Like you don't play against other people. That's the thing that makes no sense here.
Yeah.
They're like analyzing like the meta game like it's Magic, and like their money spent and like things get banned, and like there's like, I don't know, there's anything at stake playing it. That's the thing that makes no sense to me.
That's dead ass. The only thing that's at stake is how quick you can clear Abyss.
You, my friend, have not been reading your theory. You have not been reading Das Kapital.
This reminds me of a post I saw a few days ago.
Because if
you made.
Because if you had been reading Das Kapital, you would understand that they are not in competition in an actual game. They are in competition with each other's posts about the game and how good they are. You are in the worst kind of competition, my friend. So understand, like I said, let's go back through it now. Excuse me.
We're in what's called the Spoonie Zone.
Yeah, we're in the Spoon world.
Spoony.
Yeah, you're like, why are these insane people mad about this thing that has no bearing on reality? And yet, you are the person who introduces me to Coffee Spoonie. in a proper.
Why are these people angry about something that affects literally like 3 people in the country?
Yeah. Well, okay. First off, 50 million across the world. That's not nothing.
All right, fair enough. You got me there.
Yeah. Plus,
I'm sure I could find some point where Spoonie's been way too hyper specific.
Yes. So, like,
Goddamn, fucking Sea Lord hits like a truck. Fuck 5 stars. Look at Sea Lord.
Oh, Sea Lord's stupid.
Fucking fish.
That fucking fish. That fish cannon. Fucking Child is always harder on my alternate because like I don't just have like I don't have my honestly it's because I don't have Noelle built up on the alternate. So yeah, they're pissed off about certain gameplay things. Like Kokomi just sucks. Although like they're mad that she works as exactly described and she can't critically hit, right?
Right.
They're mad that Yoimiya does that shotgun shot, which honestly, having a little kid and having to rush Yoimiya, because of my little kid, I actually feel that one. Like I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, shotgun shit sucks. Bows are already terrible if they're not charged, and like the fact that her charged attack completely competes with her elemental skill is okay. All right, Yoimiya, I don't know how to put it. Like, if you don't have a little kid in your life, or like you're a pedophile, like yeah, missing Yoimiya hurts. But if you're like an actual, missing Yoimiya, oh my God, just get over it. Like, yeah, she doesn't work, and you didn't buy her, so you won the game. You know?
Is this what they meant about being intersectional? You're being pretty intersectional there, huh?
Yeah, I am. If you've noticed, I've really gotten better at intersectionality.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah.
Whale
I definitely have.
No, you motherfucker! Come here, child. I'm gonna beat you like a child. Shit. Get bursted. Oh, he ran. Did you see that teleport on the Y? Bullshit. All
Man,
right. So they are.
When they finally get to.
I'm sorry.
When they finally get to Sneznaya, is everybody's name gonna be just fucking ludicrous? Is everybody's name gonna be child with an E on it and Tusser and shit like that?
Fuck yes.
Do you see Signora's name every time you fight her? Is everybody's name gonna be like that?
Yeah, but Signora's hot, so like I'm really happy that even though she's dead, she's not like she's only dreaming basically.
Yeah.
Let's hit those battle pass rewards, kids. All right, so they're mad that like Yoimiya and Kokomi and by their argument, Raiden are trash. Like, okay, and that's the first that's my entitlement warning going off because like as a
Raiden's like the best sub DPS though. You don't need that many DPSs. She's like the best sub DPS you could ever hope for.
If you match her in a Jing, like what is his name, Zhan Chu, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't fucked with him, but yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you put a lineup where Zhan Chu, somebody like Diona who's just like an elemental battery, right? And you add Raiden, and then pick your DPS. I don't care if it's Eula, I don't care if it's Diluc, Jean, I don't give a shit if it's fucking Arataki, Ito. Doesn't matter. Do that and then tell me Raiden blows, because literally, you're almost doubling your main's damage, and then like and that's at C0. We're not talking a C6 fucking perfect Raiden. We're talking like a C0.
Yeah. You know I got that C0 Raiden. You know I got any 5-star I got. You know I got I got 0 constellations. You know it.
I randomly I think I have a C1. Hold on, let me look. I think I have a C1 Diluc, and I don't want him. Can you imagine
the ocean of Can you imagine the ocean of tears when people fall off playing the game and they just start handing out like fucking 5-star constellations? Like,
yes.
Maybe it only costs 80 to wish. Like, can you imagine the sea of fucking tears? I saw one of the whale guys on YouTube has a C6 Kokomi, and he was like being smug about it and like telling like other whale guys like, you know, you ain't got it like this or whatever. What the fuck are you gonna do with a C6 Kokomi? That's the most useless thing I've ever heard of.
Well, you heal a lot is what you do. You heal a fucking lot. I gotta spend that resin. Trying to do this all before the show, so I'm just gonna play it during the show. I don't give a shit. I'm a fucking boss at this. But yeah, all right. So they are absolutely ass hurt at they're absolutely ass hurt over the way the new characters are not working. And I imagine the fact that Yun Jin kind of fucking sucks the new like imitation Zhongli.
Yeah, it handed me like C3 of her while I was trying to get Shinhei, and I don't know what to
Yeah.
do with that. Like, it don't seem like she has. I tried putting her in with all the Geo fuckers, and she don't really seem to juice them that much. Not like Goro.
Not like Goro. No, she's just terrible.
Mm.
She's.
I gotta say though, visually, animation, everything about her, dope as fuck.
Yeah.
But the gameplay is just not there, you know?
No, the gameplay is terrible. So everybody's mad about that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, not all 4-stars can be fucking Bennett and therefore winners, right?
Yeah.
Then the anniversary hits. And to put it in perspective, when the first Chinese New Year hit, they did the lantern rites, like we're about to hit the lantern rites again.
Yeah.
When that happened, everybody got like a free 4-star.
Okay.
So they got like a free constellation boost for their 4-star, or they got a free new 4-star, right? And that's kind of like a big deal. For the anniversary, it was like, I don't even remember. It was just a bunch of like, I was like, I don't really care. Like this, because the thing is like
they've only done 3 out of 7 countries, so you can't really say how many anniversaries they're gonna be, right? Like,
right. Especially because they promised that the end of Inazuma was that stupid fog place that kind of sucked, but at least you could climb around it again.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, you know what? Let's just add this whole new dungeon underneath it.
Which I dig. It's definitely the most Cthulhu-ass Cthulhu thing that's in the game. That's in it. Right. That's in a game that already had basically a Cthulhu-ass dude come out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, no, now you go down to his like fucking underwater dreaming chamber like Ryla or whatever and hunt his Cthulhu ass down. Like,
fuck yeah.
Like
Cthulhu. But they were mad about the rewards for that. Because they gave away like the equivalent of like 8 wishes.
yeah.
And everyone was like, they should have given you 80 wishes. And I was like, should they?
I mean, if you're like, the weirdest thing to me is seeing the top streamers complain about it.
Yeah.
Because if you are a top streamer, like there's a guy that I hate that because he's annoying, but that I won't name, but he did a thing where he just started a fresh account and he'll do like single wishes and he'll try to play with like whatever garbage it gives him and shit. And he's having fun and it's really interesting content. So like, it seems to me like if you're a streamer that already has a following, you're winning no matter what. But those motherfuckers cry harder than anybody.
Yes. Well, it's because the assumption is always and eternally that like somehow they bring Genshin in money, right?
Yeah.
Especially the Chinese streamers, maybe.
Yeah.
You speak English, motherfucker. They don't even know you're alive.
Right. Plus, like
the
best ones
bigger than California.
Plus, like the best ones are always telling you like not to spend money anyway.
Right.
Like the main dude I go to, even though he's a bit dry and his delivery is a little like his cadence is weird. Like he's not naturally like sort of a performer.
Yeah.
But it's that dude Ziox. If you've seen any of those,
I have not. I don't.
Okay.
You gotta understand, man. I am right now irony streaming because I don't. I don't like streamers.
It's nothing but build guides and like how to micromanage artifacts. Like every single video on his channel is just like why you would use 4-piece noblesse instead of 2-piece noblesse and some other shit like for 15 minutes. And he's fantastic. Like if you're like me and you're kind of too broke to really have all the shit, he's fucking fantastic because he's always telling you like, okay, don't take Goro over 60 out of 70. Take Goro to 60 out of 70 so it unlocks his last talent and then never touch him again. Like, if anything, you could make the argument that that's losing them money.
Right.
Right?
Well, yeah, because then you're not spending. You're not investing time, so you're not continually rubbing yourself against the gotcha. So, like, those guys, like, they're like, how dare you? I get money from this. I don't make you money. Arguably, I lose you money based off of my advice. Why don't you give me more free things? Like that's like understand how I like capitalism makes people stupid. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that's partially why I don't listen to streamers because like I already know that like don't spend money is a good idea. But it's funny that somebody who spends that much money is like don't spend money, right? But
Yeah.
then, like, there's a push and pull because the company wants you to spend money. That's how they're a multi-billion-dollar company, so they need you spending the money. And, like, honestly, dude, it's this or drugs.
Yeah.
And, like,
But I mean, anybody, like, okay, what's on screen right now? Anybody that's been playing as long as you could have snatched up a Diluc, could have snatched up a Diona. The fucking vaporize that just went off between two of them is enough to clear any content in the game, right? Like,
more or less, yes. I mean, Asda is tough. The Spiral Abyss can get sketch.
oh, right. You got to have like two really good 4-piece team comps to, 36-star Spiral or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but even that, I've been on it, like a few months, and I'm already kind of designing like the 2 4-pieces to get 36. Like, it gives you a lot to do. People have always been saying that about the pay to win or, pay to whatever model.
Yeah.
Like, oh, every dollar that you spend makes the game be over faster. But I've never really seen it more true than in this game, right?
Right. Yeah.
What's up, bitches?
Not much.
Oh, what's up,
What
man?
up?
Holy fuck, we got a full 5. All right.
Hell yeah.
So, getting back to like why Genshin players are mad. Number 1, spoiled brats. Number 2, the company is definitely trying to see where they can bilk you for, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's something I love to see is like the weird interplay between like capitalism and like capitalist ideas and like this weird Chinese sensibility, right?
Right.
Like this game is one of the strangest and most interesting things that I've ever seen. Like there's no way for my brain to square the circle between how deviously capitalist the idea of that guy spending whatever he spent to get a C6 Kokomi for no reason and how nice the devs are on their little streams. My brain just cannot square that.
Well, I also want to point out that it employs. Now, I don't know if it pioneered this, but it employs one of the newer tactics with these free-to-play games, which is that it understands that people who are dedicated want shit to be free to some extent. So I don't know if you noticed, but if you do everything that's in the menus in that game, if you click on all of the stuff that dispenses all of the various currencies, there's a bunch of different currencies. There's a bunch of different menus that'll give you free shit.
Yeah.
And some of it doesn't. Some of it expires too. It just doesn't sit there the entire time you have an account. You have to actually claim it.
Yeah.
If you do everything, it gives you a lot for free, like a ton.
Yeah,
But
just off the
if
dailies.
if you don't have the patience for that, then you end up paying money because ingrained in your head, no matter what, by the time you have enough cognizance to play Genshin, ingrained in your head is the idea that if you spend money, the game will give you stuff that, like, it'll give you stuff. And if you don't have the patience to deal with anything else, you'll register your fucking credit card and you'll pay.
Yeah.
And that's what it bets. The problem is that a lot of the people who complain, like, don't understand that for them, for the dedicated, the spigot's open fully. And they just are just fucking whining. And it's kind of amazing. Because, like, there wouldn't be all of those menus in that game if the developers didn't want some demographic of people to be fucking, like, drinking from the fire hose on this shit. Yeah. So it is kind of amazing on that level that they, like, complain, and a huge portion of the game is engineered just for them. Like, exclusively for their demographic.
Right.
Speaking of video games, did you see that foul shit that Square Enix put out about how they want to lean in on digital real estate and NFTs and shit?
Absolutely. That sounds entirely like Square Enix.
Man, they were on a good run, though. 15 was okay, man. They were supporting it well. People liked it. I thought it was, like, tongue-in-cheek and cute.
Oh,
I was halfway through a second playthrough of stupid fucking 15.
Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm remembering right. 15 was the one where all those brown people invaded your country and they overran.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was the plot, huh?
They killed your white king and right in front of you.
Yeah, they killed your white king in front of you, so you had to reclaim your grand historical destiny from your impure blood ancestor whose crime was healing the masses.
Yeah, he was a real asshole. You had to go save your white girlfriend from the big snake and then bring her back so that you and her could like have a nap forever on the throne where you belong. Yeah.
No,
It was
I'm talking about the race war that kicked everything off precisely because we were nice to brown people.
Yep.
15 was the MAGA video game, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
yeah, argue like if even the villain who like tried to heal the masses because he felt sorry for them, and that
Yes.
ended him up possessed by demons.
Like plot aside
Like,
though, that's one of my fave Final Fantasies ever.
Like miscegenation, all those evil demons. You know what I mean? 15 fucking was amazing. Like no
Like
other
there
video
are
game was that brazenly racist and like, hey Nazis, you should come play this. And like the Nazi crowd didn't even understand that this was the game for them.
there are quality of life things in that game that honestly should be in every single video game series, especially RPGs. Like the idea that you can play the music from any of 15 games that came before it. Like, no, duh. Like, I love that music. Like, bring it on. Like, you own it. I've already paid for it in another game. Give me that fucking music, assholes. And they did. You know, like, that's just a quality of life thing that is so transcendent. Like, I'd cruise around on the world map on that shit. I'd cruise around on the world map on 15 and play the fucking Final Fantasy 7 world map. You know? That's dope as fuck.
I also remember how fucking long it took for them to put quality of life improvements like finishing the story in. So like,
oh yeah. They dragged their feet on that thing.
I don't know how high praise we want to be, but since it was a slapdash, highly polished piece of shit that fell apart upon scrutiny, and it was just about race war, it was definitely the game for the right.
Yeah, oh yeah. It definitely, like, the only Final Fantasy I could put above it, though, even regarding all that, was, for me, old Super Nintendo 6. And it's only because I have fond memories of it as a kid. It's probably not really that good, but when I was a kid, it blew my mind.
Is this like a thing where, like, you're from a state that, like, remembers Birth of a Nation as, like, a good movie? Because, like, when you're like... I
am.
Like, I could put Mystic Quest above that game. Like... I could put any Final Fantasy above that game.
Fucking Mystic Quest.
Yeah, like I don't know what you're smoking here, pal. That game was like a pot. Like, I will warn you, I gave up on trying to enjoy that game when like I beat it. I knew what the plot was pretty quickly. I watched the movie. I did not play any of the DLC outside of like the little chocobo event or whatever in that city that made absolutely no sense having it because like shit getting ruined.
Yeah, they were just doing like a crossover with Ubisoft anyway. They gave you a little Assassin's Creed outfit and shit. Like
I had the one where you got like the chocobo shirt and everything. Yeah. Like no, that game was race war. Like that's all that was.
Oh, straight up, yeah.
Yeah. So I was like kind of like, okay, like it is the most perfect MAGA video game.
No doubt. Hands down.
Yeah. The counterpoint is like, I'm not really like comfortable with all this race war shit.
And all they need to retake their kingdom is they need to take their sweet car out into the woods and just camp until everything blows over, right?
Yeah.
The ultimate right-wing fantasy, right?
Basically, yeah. Like I think I would live as a fucking wild man in the woods until like all this anti-white bullshit tides over, and then
kill my dad, destroy my palace, IDK, going out fishing.
I'm going out fishing with the boys. I'm a tier 1 operator. I don't actually have to save anybody's life.
They didn't. They didn't save anybody's life. No. But that was, to me, that's the one place where the plot hit for me. Okay, they created these characters that were thankless slaves to the king, right? Those were great characters. Like his bodyguard, his teacher, like those were great characters. The one guy is blinded and half killed. The other guy is all scarred up from having to go fight fucking Gilgamesh, one of the old Final Fantasy summons. They get abused throughout the whole game just to take care of a pussy who cries the whole time. Yes. Like for me, those characters hit big time.
Yeah.
But the plot overall, yeah, was just fucking right-wing, insane fantasy.
Yeah, it was just race war.
Yeah.
It literally, like, don't think too hard about it. Like, just fucking race war. That's where, like, the fact that Persona 5 and Final Fantasy 15 came out, like, really close to each other was amazing because Persona 5 was the Bernie Sanders video game. All the right-wing chuds ran it and then cried that it was the Bernie Sanders video game. Whereas, like, They totally missed their calling in Final Fantasy 15, a game that practically had a swastika on the cover.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. Like, okay, remind me, okay, in the movie for 15 that was marginally less terrible than Spirits Within, but still not good.
Right.
Hey,
In
now.
that movie, I know.
It was no Advent Children, my friend.
I know that was the good one. That was the good one. But
That one fucked. Like
what am I? Oh yeah, okay. So in that movie, was there some weird labor politics going on, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, because the poor brown people were forced to serve the white people.
Oh, I mean, other than that big point.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a dude though who was always pissed off because like the most reactionary character ever was sort of a chuddy, sort of like roundish guy in the movie? Like the movie for me is very dimly remembered. I 1.5 playthroughs on that game, but I only watched the movie one time.
Yeah, there was like a fat guy who was like mad about all the brown people stealing jobs.
But again, like I think that model, I some of the quality of life stuff, some of the stuff that's like an anthology, I think that that can't be overlooked because you guys have heard me rant and rave about this for a whole year now.
No,
I've almost been doing this with you guys a year. These games that have had 15 sequels, just make a fucking anthology where I can play with all the models and listen to all the music. I will keep playing that garbage.
You should play World of Final Fantasy then. That is the toy store for you.
Yeah, I haven't even touched that shit because I'm worried that it'll be just like a needle in the arm.
It's pretty.
Is that a guy who's playing Genshin Impact right now? Jesus Christ.
3 minutes to live, and I'm still just dicking around on Genshin. I know what I'm doing.
Hey, you're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go pee before we go live.
That's video content.
It is video
I'm gonna do the same.
Content for the masses. Whoa, my kiddo's still up. That's not good. I'm in here swearing. But yeah, I mean, like, I would love to go through the Final Fantasies and just be like, this one's racism, this one's killing God. Like, Final Fantasy X is just Nietzsche, right? Final Fantasy VII is like, hey, Marxists, get off your ass and blow something up. Final Fantasy 15 is, yo, white people, you got to take your country back now. Which, again, for the time frame, how they were so like prescient in 2014 when they were clearly building that game, that like, this is how the Europeans are going to feel, and we're going to sell like fucking hotcakes in America and Europe. And of course, like, every Japanese person is racist, so if we sell it here, we're going to make a shit ton of money. How they were so prescient, it was beyond me, but they were.
Yeah. But it all leads to they were on a big downturn before that thing, before a couple of other small successes they had alongside that thing. And I started thinking like, oh, that's cool. I always loved Square when I was a kid. Maybe they're going to do good. Maybe they're going to come back, right? And then immediately after they made like any profit at all, he released that big NFT spiel. Like immediately. Absolutely. So that's what I get. That's what I get for my nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, with that stuff, a large portion of it is that like
everybody else is doing it.
That, but like NFTs as like as a product, because that's what they are. Like map easiest to video game services for a bunch of reasons, and the thing about it is that for video games, and the thing about NFTs just in general is that them exiting the realm of video games would be the actual test of whether or not they're viable. And I doubt seriously they'd ever exit the realm of video games. As for video games, all it really is just the complete marketized, I can't pronounce that word right now. It's the complete commodification of every single game object you ever get.
Right. And which is already what, in a lot of ways, it's already what a video game was, right? Like, if I play Xenogears on the PS1 and I got a really dope save file, like I might know somebody on the internet that just wants to see the ending or just have a dope file or whatever. Like back in the day, people used to sell a PS1 memory card with a bunch of beefy RPGs on it, like that they maxed out. Like that's a fucking NFT. That's a thing that doesn't exist, that can only be accessed in a specific piece of software.
That's not actually an NFT. You know what is an NFT?
Huh.
The Sons of Trier podcast and live stream hosted by Dan Cohen, who has, let's quell some rumors here, who has been released from prison for rape. after raping a serial killer who only targets women, they're black, but is a white woman who's rich. So you sort out whether or not I did a feminism. And meanwhile, I want to tell you about somebody else who was just released from prison. It's Mr. John Sinclair.
Yes, sir.
And he was in jail, but as a snitch, because that's the kind of person he is. They just put him in.
Hold on. I just want to make sure that everybody knows it was jail and not prison.
Yeah.
So I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm completely exonerated.
He was going to jail and he snitched a bunch, and now he's going to federal prison.
You know they give you one of those snitch hats like Homer got in the Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
They do. They don't tell you that, but they actually really do give you one. It's great.
Yeah.
You're wearing one right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And somebody else who's just recently been to prison, it would be Michael Jordan Peterson.
Not guilty. Y'all got to film me.
We did film you, and we filmed you stealing that car.
I didn't say film. I said feel. Feel me. Don't film me. Never fucking film
as you
me.
drove that car.
Never fucking film me.
Who were protesting women's rights. So, are we mad?
Hey, look, if they get in front of my car, I gotta run them over.
Exactly.
Especially in Florida.
They call that the South Carolina defense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
speaking of somebody else who invoked the South Carolina defense, Mr. Jank Engels.
Ah.
Who was
Self-hating
the
capitalist.
co-defendant of Ghislaine Maxwell.
Is
And his
that a statement of my existence?
Yeah, but we know what
Or are you asking me a question?
I knew that courtroom sketch of the guy in the foot picture looked familiar.
Yeah, it was his feet. He was rubbing them on
Listen.
his titties.
Listen. I'm into what I'm into. It is what it is.
With the titty.
Yeah.
And finally, last but not least, the man whose trial is upcoming, and we can't say too much about it, but it involves schmanity mucking. The true horror.
Yeah, we can't do that bit right now because I'm currently involved in an intellectual
Legally,
property
we
suit.
cannot.
I'm
Legally, these are
involved-
jokes.
Look, I'm involved in an intellectual
It's a criminal
property suit.
trial. Don't lie. It's a criminal trial. Again, you're doing this thing where you lie. And remember, right now, you got to be very careful about what you say and admit to, because of course they're going to absolutely pull this episode and use it against you if we actually talk about it. So maybe we shouldn't talk about that until after the trial.
Yeah.
When you do the special episode, How to Schmuck Up Fanity. Wow.
Where you rub schmuckers all over your fantasy.
While you hang out with a guy who's getting a foot job from Ghislaine Maxwell. I gotta tell
I'd hang out with you any day, True.
Yeah. Can I be honest here, guys? Can I tell you something? That was entirely.
Yeah.
I did not think that up beforehand. That was entirely too.
Who you know?
Yeah, I did.
Never.
I know. That was improv.
So in a totally unrelated to a law action going on right now, some sort of lawsuit or something, criminal trial.
Yeah.
I hear that manatee titties very similar to humans
Is that
Yeah.
right?
from a reliable source.
And
Well,
remember,
according to
before
the
you
drawings,
answer, they're gonna enter this into evidence depending on what you say.
according to the drawings of mermaids on antique ocean maps, yes, they do have titties, very similar to human titties.
Juicy ones. So do you actually see a difference between a manatee and a mermaid?
Well, I mean, when you're out there on the ocean for that long, you're just looking for anything that ain't your helmsman,
How long would that be?
Like,
Yes.
those guys used to be on the ocean for like, boys, we've been out of port for 5 minutes. This is going to be a long voyage. I think we should go ahead and divvy up whose wife right now. I don't want there to be an argument later.
Time to get gay.
Yarr, once we get far enough out into the ocean, God's not watching.
Sir, we can still see the port. I could swim back. No, you can't.
That's
Right,
not-
but they can't
Not with that ass.
Them are shark-infested waters.
And that's why you're a top.
Sir, you're just sitting in the harbor and chumming the waters to attract the sharks. No, that's a baseless accusation. Now drop your pants.
Yes.
Walk the plank.
Well,
What?
I don't want to give
Not
you any
that plank.
implications, but you are out here on the boat alone, essentially. I mean, really, what is being around other people if we have different opinions about what should happen on the boat? Hmm?
Like we're
Do you
nothing
think-
at all.
Do you
We're
remember-
nothing.
Do you guys remember when people briefly got back into sea shanties? Like,
That
how
was
many...
the dumbest fucking shit ever.
It sucked
Aw.
because I kept waiting for, like, an awesome, like, lost sea shanty that was, like, forbidden or whatever, that was
And
just
I
about
looked
fucking
him
each other.
in the ass and I pinned
Right.
him to the
Exactly. In reality, 90% of sea shanties were probably like that, right? But I guess they were all just like destroyed or like hidden away. Like, but 90% of them must have been about butt
Hidden
fucking.
away.
Absolutely. Why would you not, like, if you're out
The
there...
forbidden sea shanty.
The forbidden sea shanty. Aye, the sea shanty goes all the way back to Sodom.
So I still posit that all music is about sex.
Yeah.
It's all about busting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bust a move. Bust
How
a
good-
rhyme.
How good
Busta
busting makes you
rhyming.
feel.
You know what?
Especially how good busting makes you feel.
Yeah. Bustin' makes me feel good. Bum, bum, bow, 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 bum, bum, bow, 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 busting. I ain't afraid of you.
Cutting out there is totally like well timed.
Was
Yeah.
It?
Yeah,
It was like I got censored.
it was a little bit.
Yeah. That's because I said that word.
Yeah.
The one with the hard R.
Nagger.
I'm like, what up, McCracker? What's going on? I wonder if we're going to get dogged for that. Thank God.
Oh,
that was
dude.
that was a soft A though.
Wait,
That was a
wait.
cracker with a soft A.
It was friendly.
Yeah.
I have
we
a
gotta
pass.
we gotta ask True as the resident as
That's
the
Catholic.
resident true white, because this matters. This matters a lot.
That's true.
Can Jewish people say that word or not? Is that your word?
I mean, I feel like if you're white passing, yeah, but like, no,
But
no,
do,
no,
do
no,
I
like
have to feel
swarthy,
bad about saying it?
no, like swarthier types, But if you're
Over my
like,
dead body.
okay, if you're white passing, you can say it. But if you look like an illustration of a Jew from an old Ben Garrison cartoon, then no.
Oh,
God damn it.
yeah, we're out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're both out. Yeah, unfortunately, if an artist were to draw a picture of Dan or I, it'd be hate speech. So we're kind of in a bad way there.
That's,
Is that why all those caricature artists on the boardwalk got arrested that time?
Yeah,
Because I heard it was every one of them.
we were up in New York cutting some good deals, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
The boardwalk. We haggled with some caricature artists, and then we sued them for a cool $4 million. Yeah, though, for real though, if they drew us, it kind of would be hate speech. The minute they like fictionalized anything, like they would have to draw such an accurate picture for it not to be hate speech. Like, it'd have to be so, like it would have to be that like Hitler level of realism where it's fucking boring and ironic.
Yeah.
That only Hitler could draw us without it being hate speech.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's just so like unartistic that like that would actually save his ass.
Oh, beautiful. I must draw you.
I must draw these filthy Jews.
It's just the scene from Titanic, but it's Hitler and Dan or John.
Yeah.
It would ironically be described in many times by many artists as loving.
Yes. They would totally miss the plot.
Mother loving?
Lover, you're a mother lover. We should get rejected by each other's mothers. We're not getting off. That was a nice song, wasn't it? I flipped the script.
Hmm?
Once
Those
upon a
were
time.
I like the Kanye version.
Is that the one where he's in the Mega Man boots and he's pretending to have sex with that lady?
Is it?
Did you guys see this post? There's this weird post where he wants everybody to know how heterosexual he is and how he has this new girlfriend.
Yeah.
And it's these weird, grainy photos in bad lighting of him wearing absurd Mega Man boots while this woman like sort of just sits on him.
And just rubs him.
Look the shit up. Like it's literally
Kanye has a new girlfriend?
Apparently. I mean, like a beard or whatever,
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even saying like I presume his sexuality. I'm not even saying he's like homosexual and using a beard. I'm saying he's a complete freak and using a beard to appear as a normal human. Like we all know that his only true love is fashion. Just ask poor Sway.
Yeah, this is an aside, but I do remember when I was in high school, his like first line of sneakers came out, and my friend, all he wanted for his birthday from his dad was a pair of like $300 Yeezys, and they were the most like hideous fucking gray and white sneakers. They looked like fucking, they looked like fucking New Balances that had sex with Jordans. They were awful. And he fucking,
Not the nice Jordans.
That doesn't sound like consensual sex.
It was not.
Sounds like the New Balances were like waiting around a corner.
Nah.
Which is how I got sent to prison to attack that serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What, she was out there killing black women. You're going to tell me, I'm not supposed to be an ally to black women anymore?
Yeah, we already laid out how you were, just doing that to like take the power back, and you did it in like the correct way.
I'm trying to help
because
out sisters by attacking rich white women who are doing racisms and serial killings.
Because as we know in the current political climate, you're allowed to do any kind of like rape or murder as long as you're like morally correct politically.
Yes.
Like we know that. I mean,
that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why are you Diamond and Silking me? Because Diamond and Silk would approve of what I just said. No, wait, I'm sorry. They would absolutely hate it.
Because I'm a homosexual. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just give me the Diamond and Silk treatment here, my friend.
Gotta support the homies.
Yeah. Why don't we have I want to be serious. Like we need our own Diamond and Silk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, two people that aren't regulars that just.
I mean, this is pure garbage, ladies and gentlemen.
Bullshit.
That guy would be great at it, but I'm not sure he's available.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He's on there.
I would pay so much money.
I'm going to save that record. We're doing this right now. Looking at Yule's ass. Let's go. Yule's ass 2020. No, what we need are just two women who go on and just talk about one of them talks about Marxist points and the other one's just like, and they stealing from you. And they stealing from you. They stealing your money. They stealing your money. That's how they make profit. They steal your labor. They steal your time. They take it from you and they put it in their own damn pocket. And then you can't afford to buy the damn thing that you just made. Now, what bullshit is this?
Dead ass.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, that's what we need.
Oh, no, she didn't.
We seriously just need to find women to do that. You think I'm running a bit? I am 110% dead ass serious.
Like we could probably recruit from our modest Twitter following. We could probably find a couple of fuckers that would be down.
I have found in all my time, every time I try to put something together, I have found about 3 people willing.
As she's done willing.
Oh, shout out to our meager Twitter following. Hey fuckers. You want a cursed video game? My copy of Eternal Darkness is up for sale. It's legit cursed, motherfucker. Right after that shit came out, their whole company collapsed. Yeah, that's right. That's right. The developer's father died, and when they released their next game, they got sued by Epic so hard that it's one of the few instances of all copies of the game being recalled and destroyed. Yeah, that's right. Eternal Darkness is cursed. That's what happens when you fuck around with Cthulhu shit. Legit cursed. For sale right now. Links on my Twitter.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Well, anybody else got any plugs for this part of the show before we actually get the real theory? I mean, we may as well. We just did the plugs early, so fuck it.
That's an anti-plug. I'm saying don't buy it. It's cursed, but do buy it, though. I can't have it. I can't have it in my house anymore.
Is it the appropriate time to let the public know about my line of man boosting testosterone pills?
Yes.
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
I gotta plug Sons of Trio NFTs coming soon.
Dude, no, okay, so I had an idea, right? What if we do NFTs, but it's just of my infected ingrown toenail?
That'll work. I mean, you can't do worse than that fucking monkey. That'll work.
Okay. I'll start
I was sick of seeing
ingrown toenails.
I was sick of seeing that procedurally generated monkey where the fucking parts of its face don't clip together right. I was sick of seeing him the first time I seen him, and I seen him about 1 million fucking times.
I'm going to
Your
start
toenail
taking
can't be worse than
screenshots of
that.
the toenails.
Yeah. The toenail, actually. Is
Yeah.
Tonies.
I feel like that's not copyrighted, right?
No,
Definitely not.
certainly not.
Okay. Yeah.
Not by anybody who would be like litigious or like, have like friends that could sue us or anything.
Well, it would be Niees.
Right.
Yeah. Because it has to
Yeah,
be
toe.
misspelled.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got a
Crypto bros.
non-copyrighted tiger on it.
It's a nondescript cat.
he's Tony the large. He's Tony the large feline.
Yeah, he's Anthony the oversized animal.
He says they're swell. That's what he says.
It's acceptable.
Because the toe's swollen, he says they're swell.
Should be a fish instead. We'll call it Tony the tiger shark.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
yes.
Okay, there you go.
So it's intellectually distinct from Tony the Tiger.
He says that's passing.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, are we real about this NFT shit? Are we getting into this game?
I mean, I'm so tempted because
Why not?
like every time I go past a post, like not necessarily NFTs, but just grifting their whole space in general, like it's morally correct to grift them. There don't seem to be any penalties for it. I saw a post from a guy who was going on Gab and Telegram and shit, and saying he could get them fake fake vaccine cards.
Okay.
And they'll just give you your they'll give you their social security number. That's how bad they want to be able to go to a concert without being vaccinated and give COVID to you. Is that they will give you all their information for you to put on a fake vaccine card. And then, of course, if you never deliver, what the fuck are they going to do? They're going to go to the cops and tell them they were trying to get a fake vaccine card. What the fuck are they going to do? Right? It's a great scam.
So for
I will sell you NFTs in exchange for fake vaccine cards.
No, I don't have a vaccine card, but I need to get into this concert. Would you accept an NFT of a vaccine card?
Yes, it's non-fungible.
It can't be funged. It can't be funged. Look, let me pull my phone out right here and I'll show you the NFT. Oh shit, somebody funged it.
No.
Somebody funged it. Hang on.
Somebody hit right click and save. That's piracy.
Oh fuck, it got funged all the shit.
Making pictures. Why don't we just sell meta hashes?
Listen,
Yeah, there
you
you
wouldn't download a
How do you
car.
make those?
It's literally just a code.
Okay, and
That's what it comes down to. It's the image is all about just that code, the meta code.
Yeah.
okay,
This
what
is
am I missing?
this is sad
about
as shit.
this?
It's just a little bit lazier. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. And
That sounds like literally on
We're not
brand.
even making
Oh,
images.
Couldn't
We're not even making images.
be
We're
more
giving you
on
a code.
brand.
Dude, you just hit it. Fucking Michael Jordan Peterson with the 3-point from half court. You just fucking hit it. Okay, check this out. Those are customizable NFTs, okay? You just sell them the hash code, and you tell them they can put whatever picture they want on it, and you tell them it's better than a standard NFT. Ah, shit, I shouldn't even have said that on the air. That's a fucking fire. I shouldn't even have said that shit on the air.
Patent pending.
What I'm serious though. I should just open up a stream where I don't talk and I just put pictures of my ingrown, I just record my ingrown toenail while I work on it.
And see, like
it's in that realm.
That's what people are into.
yeah, you're gonna get Rule 34 on that shit. Like you're gonna be like,
Also,
this
like,
is gross.
You'll
And
get
then somebody-
people like me. I get super distracted by like pimple popping videos and shit, gross shit like that.
It is
I
kind
just
of
get
that same
instant
angle, yeah.
stun locked every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's gonna come out of there? Oh damn, that came out of there.
More fucking pus. What a surprise!
Wow.
Haven't seen this episode before.
She's
Holy
gonna need a
shit, that's
bucket
a lot
and a
of pus.
mop.
Bring a bucket and a mop. That's some whap.
That's the docket. That's the Dr. Pimple Popper WAP crossover.
Yeah,
That's soon to be released.
that's a wet ass pimple.
That's horrible. Now I'm going to be thinking of that song with the pimple popping lyrics.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm serious. Because you know what, though? If we get any kind of subscriber count on that, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. I don't actually have to, like, admit it's me. You'll know it's me, but I don't have to admit it's me, right?
Yeah.
Then,
No, of course not. Until I
What
leak it
is
intentionally to the
me?
public.
Why would you do
I-
that to me?
I
Just
sidestepped
to
that
spite
shit.
people.
Oh.
I sidestepped that shit. I wanted to post those videos the other night because I was so bummed out and I had to hire that good-looking actor to play me just so nobody'd be able to recognize me. I think he did all right. He sounded exactly like me, which I don't know how he done that, but hey, I got what I paid for.
Yeah. It was weird, though, that he insisted on having gay sex on the stream.
Well, like I tried to crop that out, but I mean, you can hear
Weird
the
or
sound.
hilarious?
Yeah. There's a lot of gay sex.
I tried to crop that out, but I mean, like you can hear the sounds.
Yeah, it's a lot of, like, whoever was riding that guy was going hardcore. That was.
I mean, you could tell even off camera, you can tell that it's a dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like.
Well, he kept saying my name was Tony the Tigerfish, so how am I not supposed to? John's really
Why did he
happy.
make that guy wear that manatee uniform?
Yeah, I gotta
Oh,
point
I
this out. John's insanely unhappy right now because I promised to do a real topic and instead we're talking about
No, what are you talking about?
You're riding a guy.
We didn't do a single. We didn't agree on any particular topic.
I did promise
So we're
a
all
real
good.
topic, and like I always do, I lied to him. Somebody say it.
No,
I
we're
dare you.
all good.
I
We
dare you
can-
bitches to say it.
That in and of itself is a fair to middling bit, though. Just never doing a topic. That in and of itself is a bit that flies. I've seen it fly on a lot of bigger podcasts than this one, quite frankly.
Like the Gay Sex Hour, the Buttfuck Nation.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Lesbians are doing it to each other.
It's a good one.
Barstool Sports, another gay sex podcast.
That one is like so gay. Like they got pulled off their original sponsor. They had to go like create a whole separate like site
Yeah,
because that one is like that gay.
that one's pretty fucking gay. That one's all.
Fire.
Yeah. Oh man, we are bringing it hot tonight. I'm pretty impressed. What is it? It's already 10:37.
No, we had the
Oh,
break, and we're all feeling fresh. It's nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should do
hell
I
that.
gotta say.
I'll tell you what, we should do that
So
every
you
month.
can't date. You
Yeah.
can't date the show. It won't make it timeless. What if people are watching this 20 years from now? They'll know what time that this show was shot at.
Yeah. Well, there's really only going to be like two ways of measuring time. There's going to be like
There's a
the
new year
collapse.
every year, right?
Yeah.
Anybody listening to us understands what a new year is.
I don't know
Right?
about that.
Ooh, I just want to go side with Jengon. We can't actually confirm that. If you're listening to
Yeah.
this shit,
Yeah, we're gonna be canceling that shit.
Yeah.
yeah, years are over, bitch.
Yeah, this is just going to be lumped in with all pre-collapse media. There's really only going to be pre-collapse media and post-collapse media. And like people are going to be listening to this and they're going to be like, wow, this is so cool. These guys don't know what's going to happen with the NFTs and the Bitcoin. Like,
Hi, history students 1,000 years from now.
yeah, hello there. We didn't think that we needed to stop that. We were too distracted by all the other stuff, and
We were super
let 'em-
wrong.
we let them run a bunch of fucking Radeon 3060s or whatever until our planet turned into a cinder. Yeah, that's us. We did that. Hello.
We just wanted to say oopsie doodles.
Sea doodle.
Whoops. That was
We
Every
didn't.
now and
We didn't think it was going to be quite that bad. Our apologies.
every now and then you get one wrong, and we got that one wrong.
I feel like
Airball.
if we're gonna just topiclessly cycle like horrific things, I feel like that I've said this on like probably every other episode. I say the exact words, but there was so many awful takes online recently that I just can't even. It's like a mushed in my head. Like I can't. We really should start keeping like a list, like we've been talking about doing, because like a lot of people did their end of the year lists of like worst tweet or worst take or whatever. Like that's going to become the show Bible eventually.
Yeah.
Like we really need like that reference because there's nothing that defines like post like totally smooth Biden times existence more than I just saw so many terrible things I don't even know which one like I'm going to talk about. Like that's the defining trait, right?
So I'm glad you brought that up because of the forthcoming, no timeline on this, but the forthcoming compilation that Dan and I are working together to put together on bad tweets that really intrigue us.
Yeah.
And the thing about bad tweets is that not all of them are timeless. There's very few ones that like we really feel motivated to write about, because most bad tweets are just like, I don't know, somebody just being like extremely stupid, but like it's not, and like it's very easy to make fun of, but not in like a particularly interesting way or whatever. It just is funny or whatever. Like the fucking Bean stuff.
Yeah.
You wrote every one of them, right?
Every one of them. I am Bean Dad, so send your hate and your death threats to admin.whitehouse.gov. Subject
Bean Dad.
I'm going to be the president.
Bean Dad was a gimmick account that you used to run before you started running the much more profitable Brooklyn guy ones. Yeah. The Brooklyn Dad.
Brooklyn slut account.
Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
Yeah. Yeah, that was why the Bean Dad account had that big meltdown about the beans. Is it just wasn't, it wasn't doing it for him anymore. And he was like, I'm going to do this other guy now. And then all of a sudden, here comes the DNC with a big fat check. It's like, hey, wasting time over there on Bean Dad.
Time to sell out and be a little bitch. That's exactly what I did in that exact order. And again, if you have any quality problems with any of my accounts, you want to send all your death threats to White House, admin@whitehouse.gov. Subject, I'm coming for the president.
The president is our pet name for Dan, by the way.
I prefer El Presidente, but they won't go for it.
I went for it.
You did. It's because you're a good guy.
I'm always here to accommodate.
You really are.
It's like the manatees I keep shipping in for True.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to get it down. Like, okay. Like,
I mean the fama peas.
Yes.
Sorry.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Look, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of misinformation out there that they need salt water. Look, one of these days, one of them is going to adapt to fresh water. That's how evolution happens. That's how evolution happens, okay? One day, one's going to be born that will be able to live in my above-ground pool. It just hasn't happened yet, but we have to keep testing them. That's where evolution comes from.
Get the beat on him. Pull the rifle. Slingshot this bird.
Oh God. Did you guys dip into any of the like very serious January 6th posting? I must have blocked or been blocked since last year by all the people that actually cared about it, because I didn't really see anything but people just cracking jokes. Like I didn't see any mournful fucking shit, or
I saw like one or two, but no, it was really in stark contrast to like if you went on to the fucking Washington Post or NPR or something like that, you heard no fucking end. Like it was wall to wall coverage on that shit. But then I don't know, you move away from that, like no one fucking cares.
Did you see prominent cartoonist Eli Valley said they were going to do a fucking Lin-Manuel Miranda song like 2 days before they announced they were doing a Lin-Manuel Miranda song?
Several people predicted that was going to fucking happen. I really wish that wasn't the case. That was
How could it be that predictable? That's like simulation. Well, we'd had that one episode where we talked about simulation theory. The simulation theory guys were jacking their rock hard dicks when that song came out. You know they were. They were fucking coming fucking gallons. They were throwing fucking ropes.
Well, yeah, because they were right. I mean, it wasn't like, it's not really that hard to predict, because like he's definitely their version of like the My Pillow guy. Okay, like let's be real. What is he to them?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. So like he's their comical little bitch who comes out and does all the ridiculous bullshit.
Yes.
They just come. They squirt. They squirt.
The court jester, if you will.
Yeah. And he exists entirely to like do that shit now. Ever since he did that, like he secured himself. What he was doing with that fucking musical about that asshole Hamilton.
Yeah.
What was that called?
It was called damn it. I should have something ready to
It was
go here,
called,
but I
it was a French. No, it was a French title. It was Pouvoir la Lune.
What the fuck is Pouvoir la Lune?
I think it's like Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Like,
it was called
listen,
revisionist.
you
it was called revisionist.
Buddy, but you be straight with me right now. Is that a gay section?
Yeah.
The gay sex thing with you guys.
Okay, now where do I go get it?
Yeah. Okay. So here's what you got to find. You got to find yourself an otter.
Okay.
That's also a gay term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's true.
3 bears.
Okay.
Those are not gay terms. Actual bears.
Right. Right. Okay.
Then.
Color me intrigued, sir.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. The law again. Okay. We're gonna talk about this off air.
Okay.
Look, don't make fun. Look, don't fucking crack light and make fun. One of my gay friends was really drunk one time and did open the National Parks app instead of Grindr, and there was a very unfortunate incident with some bears. So don't lightly. If you get confused about that, it could be terrible for you. Well, my friend in the story is he's pretty tough. It was more terrible for the bears, but it's terrible. It's not There needs to be better terminology. We can't just keep using these animal names.
Various animal names.
Side note. Did anybody see the most searched Google furry terms map of the country?
Yes, I did. In fact, see this.
No.
Okay, all right. There's a lot of interesting stuff on that map.
Interesting stuff.
Okay, but I only saw one thing. I could only see one thing on the whole motherfucker. It looks like Indiana was German Shepherd, and that was the only thing that was German Shepherd, was just plain old Indiana. And I guess Kurt Vonnegut was right. I guess that really is just where all the Germans went and settled down. Good old Indiana, It just
Oh my god.
it just, it proves it. I mean, he's not even alive anymore, and he's still being proven correct. I mean, that's the real birth of the nation right there. The German heritage, still alive today.
Don't people hate Kurt Vonnegut?
I think they do now. Yeah,
he's one of the if you're dating a guy, he's a red flag on their bookshelf kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, when I started dating my girlfriend, she had both fucking Infinite Jest and Kurt Vonnegut on her shelf.
Yeah.
And obviously that means that I should have known better at the time. But yeah.
So after you instantly came and excused yourself to go change your pants, it was very nice of her to continue the relationship.
And when we not to harp on these stupid fucking things, but when we watched Dune together, she was the one who had read Dune and explained it to me.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's how that goes.
I mean, it's hard to own Harder Than Dune, really.
I mean, Dune is great. I'm not here to rip on Dune. It's phenomenal.
These are all fiction books, yeah? Like Vonnegut is a fiction author?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so this is like a fight between people who need to touch grass then.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this is again somehow, and maybe we should include this in whatever anthology we make or whatever. But somehow there are topics that just are the fucking new moon, because they just come up periodically throughout the year, and one of those is some giant pissing contest about young adult literature and more broadly what books are okay to read or not, but the absolute lowest stakes version of that argument that includes if he has Infinite Jest on his shelf, you've got to leave him, kind of a thing.
What is the problem with Vonnegut? What is the people's problem with Vonnegut?
I'll take a crack.
It's not that all people who read it are gaslighters. It's that all gaslighters read it.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. It's a Venn diagram that doesn't necessarily is just a circle. Okay. The plot of one book, Breakfast of Champions, is probably one of the more well-known books. One of the main characters, he becomes convinced that it's simulation theory, right? He becomes convinced that he's the only real person, and God is just like testing him, like with a bunch of robots, and everybody else is fake, including his estranged gay son.
Sex robots?
So he storms into his estranged gay.
robots.
He storms into his estranged gay son's piano bar and like brutally beats him while like saying all these slurs and stuff. It's another case of like they miss the fact that that guy is the villain, right? It's another case of like basically the book is about, wow, look how much this dude that believes simulation theory sucks. What an incredible egotist. What an incredible piece
And
of
instead
shit.
it's read as Kurt Vonnegut believes simulation theory and wants to beat his gay son.
Oh,
Yes.
So this is like dumb people reading a book, but they read a book for smart people, and then they couldn't figure out the plot.
Yes, very Starship Troopers energy with the people that are out there knocking these books. Another
There's
one.
no pictures here at all.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Now that's funny you should mention that, because Breakfast of Champions actually does have some pictures that the author drew himself, including a picture of an asshole, which is just an asterisk. It's a great illustration, and I often just reply with an asterisk on Twitter. I don't know if anybody follows that.
Oh, I thought that I thought that meant nuance, because you put the asterisk after the thing, and you were like trying to tell people that they need oh no, okay, it's just assholes.
Yeah, it's just an iconographic representation of an asshole as an ASCII character. Yes.
So again, if I'm understanding this right, dumb people read a book, get mad on internet, and then instead of going, "Did I understand?" book, like libertarians and massive individualists are the bad guys. Do I get mad and pretend the author is a massive individualist?
The other problem too is that there are people who read it who take it.
When the libertarians,
Yeah. Like when the libertarians run into it in the same way that they read like The Matrix, and they watch The Matrix and they're like, "I am Neo."
Think that the good guy is the fucking guy who like shuts down society over pissing contests with the federal government.
Right.
Like the ending of Fight Club, like sucks for everybody. But like when we were young and stupid and we saw the David Fincher film, based on the book, like you feel a little triumphant when you watch all the buildings come down and shit, but like numberless people are being killed in that scene by a guy's like weird doppelganger that's taken over his brain. Like it's not good. It's not good
and
for
he didn't
anyone.
end capitalism.
No, not at all.
Right.
Not by a long shot.
It's just made it really inconvenient for people.
Yeah, he just turned the commercial district of the city he lived in into a big Chaz, and we all know how that worked out.
Yeah, in defense of Polonic, he really was trying to be like leftists need to get off their ass and do something. Like
Right.
right-wingers glom to that book because they somehow think they're the anti-capitalist by supporting capitalism because, again, these are dumb
On a
people
revolution.
reading a book for smarter people.
Yes.
that-
Polonic has some
Yeah.
killer deep cuts. Speaking of him, Polonic was on the Death Note tip way back. Polonic has one about like an ancient like tribal like song or word that you can say that kills people. Like Polonic was on the Death Note tip pre-Death Note. There's some good shit out there, man. But like you say, anybody that reads this shit is going to get the wrong message. Like it's I don't think people should be allowed to have novels anymore, honestly. I think there should be a background check.
Yeah, we should start burning them.
No, they should have to be like people take this
Books are the
unironically,
people.
Like
Yes.
here's the thing, like when the conservatives are like we need more like clamps on voting, like I'm like I agree, but I don't think you understand when I say I agree with you. Like it's specifically to target you and liberals. Because both of you vote, this is how society ends up. You're the specific people who shouldn't be voting.
Yes.
Anybody who was like eager for Joe Biden for change, like you're either a liar, at which point like okay, then you should just admit you're a liar so you can still vote, but like we don't have to listen to you, right? Or
You're an idiot.
or
Yeah.
you're a fucking moron, in which case you actually shouldn't be voting because you should not have the power to make decisions on my behalf.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
should not be in open competition because like the playing field is unfucking fair.
But any
Yes.
blue.
Did you remember that jackass who was on Cedar's show who was like, if Hitler was a Democrat or Donald Trump, I'd vote for him. Like, but what?
Hang on, I've seen a clip
Like
of this
literal
shit.
Hitler.
I've seen a clip
he
of this
meant
shit.
If Adolf Hitler were alive, And,
with the same policies, the whole 9 yards.
Same language, even right down to the uniform and the haircut. Like the
Yeah,
same
that's
guy.
an absolute no.
That is somebody who is not good at politics. So
that's someone who's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like 2 seconds after you say blood and soil, somebody's going to be like, "You're doing bodies and spaces right now." Like, blood is in the body and soil is a space. You're doing bodies and spaces, Adolf. You need to chill.
Clearly, you're way better than Donald Trump. The Cheeto.
Brummel Brumpf.
What's the Sesame Street one? I can never remember that one. When he was on Sesame Street and he was like a Grouch, he was like a different version of Oscar the Grouch that wanted to like build a big golden trash can tower.
Was he?
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, I have to see
all
this.
day, yeah. That's one of the
Hell
lost
yeah.
episodes. That's one of the lost episodes of Sesame Street. It's if you find that one, you're also going to find the Jim Henson's Blank Machine episode. That's
the Jim Henson fuck machine.
Yeah, those are both in the same. Those are both on the same torrent server. Okay, all 5 of us.
Classics, though.
All 5 of us right now. Next book that is a beloved left-wing classic that is going to become problematic. I bet we go 5 out of 5.
Well, the Communist Manifesto is already problematic, isn't it? Because it's not "quote unquote" intersectional enough.
Yeah, we need
Bring
low-key
rights
sleepers.
To everybody? Why didn't you bother to list everybody, Carl?
There's
like
no
you're
mention.
leaving people out.
There is no mention of trans people at all in these books.
Yeah.
What was this asshole's problem?
What was this 1800s racist colonizer doing, trying to liberate the masses of whites? Fucking
Question mark.
People do say that shit. People do say, like, it's almost like there's nobody in the 1850s that matters except for what? Yes, that's what the 1850s were. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah. First off, there were clearly plenty of other people who mattered, but the people who are most famous are white.
Now listen here, corn pop.
I'm going to be very cold and piss people off this one. If you can find me somebody who cooked up a theory as good as Karl Marx at the same exact time, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
So
fucking straight up.
Like, I'm sorry that you can't handle the goat and his practice.
Does it have to pertain to political theory?
No.
No, not at all. It can be fiction. Like, okay, mine
Can
is.
It be a scientific theory from that time period? Because I'm sure I could figure out a scientist from that time period that came out with something super relevant.
I was just.
It is definitely not going to be phrenology.
Yeah.
Phrenology is the goat of theories, but clearly Karl Marx.
You got to have the right size and shape of skull if you want to be that throat goat.
I mean. If it weren't for phrenology, how would I know you weren't a white Spaniard? Based on
Checkmate.
Checkmate, man. Okay, no, it could be fiction. Like, okay, mine is fiction. And it may already have happened. I'm not gonna Google it, see if there's any like snarky, like ultra post left, super woke dudes like attacking this book, because I bet there probably is. But if it hasn't happened already, it will happen. Even Cowgirls Get the Blues by, I believe, Tom Robbins. The story, yes,
Cowgirl?
massively homophobic, yes.
Gotta be, yeah.
The story of a super cool pseudo-lesbian collective of awesome ladies that hang out and wear skimpy outfits, and their villain, their nemesis, is a gay man who makes feminine deodorant spray because he hates the smell of vaginas. Okay?
Oh, shit, yeah.
It fucking rules.
Lesbians versus gays, round 46.
It fucking rules. And if it hasn't happened already, if it hasn't been destroyed online already, it will be 100%.
Oh man, Cenk, have you ever seen a lesbian at a gay fight?
Yes, I have actually.
Doesn't it fucking rock?
A little bit.
Odes.
What kind of lesbian we talking? We talking roller derby lesbian, or we talking?
It doesn't matter.
More like a bourgeoisie white lesbian.
Yeah, that's the more likely.
Yes.
It's a Karen masquerading as a lesbian, really.
Yes.
It's a lesbian.
Oh, Turf
Karen
Express
versus gay Ken, and it fucking owns because they're both just bigots.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're both just happen to be Milo Yiannopoulos, but with like respectable like words coming out of their mouth. But the arrangement of those words is fucking hideous. They're always turf. That's the first thing. They're
all day.
always turfed.
Without a doubt.
Oh, all day.
Second, bisexual erasure. You would think they did a bisexual, like, beyond Holocaust.
I have literally been told that bi is not real, like regularly by people in the middle of those arguments. That is like the number one thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was invented by Hideo Kojima to make the character Vamp more interesting in Metal Gear 2. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that doesn't mean it
made
doesn't
that shit
exist,
up.
though. Even if that's
Nick.
true, it doesn't mean it doesn't
Also
exist.
doesn't mean Hideo Kojima exists. He's a CIA plant.
He's an NFT. It breaks my heart to break this to you guys. It breaks my heart to tell you guys this.
Yeah. No. So what do they jump to? First, it's bi erasure. Then it's immediate flips into transphobia, where one side, it's always the lesbians who accuse gay men of. Okay. So how does that go? So gay men are invading women's spaces, and they're being anti-feminist by transitioning. And it's always that trans women aren't real women. That's the next thing they follow up with, because they don't have women's experiences, right? So even if they're trans lesbians, doesn't matter. Not women, not good enough. They're also not real lesbians, so then they have to jump to lesbian erasure. Gay men counter with something to the effect of, it's not our fault butch women transition.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like,
I've seen people go fucking pages and pages on a thread about that shit.
yeah. That one fucking rocks. Then sometimes you get really lucky and they hit into a racism, but it's like a really old-timey racism.
Right.
Old-timey racism.
Yeah, it's not like a nice, cool
It really
racism, but yeah, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but generally, if you give those people enough rope, they will just hang themselves and say something really racist on top of it. Because one of them will bring up black people. Generally, it's the lesbians who are trying to, like, really outmaneuver the bisexuals and the trans people for literally no reason. They weren't even invited to this party. They weren't involved. You didn't have to, you ran your...
They didn't want to be involved.
Yeah, they don't want to be involved in this weird fight, this weird pissing match, right?
They don't. The funniest thing, like how casual and like just normal people are outside of Twitter is just stunning. Like doing the jobs and shit that I do down here in logistics, especially night shift, especially somewhere where you can just kind of like disappear from larger redneck society and kind of be yourself, like sort of masculine, sort of male presenting, like lesbian women, like they're just normal at work.
Yeah.
You're just handing a box to another worker who's just like you, and you nod to each other and everything's fine. Like, even the rednecks, like, don't start shit because they need that fucking box or they're going to be late for break, right?
Yeah.
Like, everything is so normal offline.
Ooh, what box we talk about?
Not that box. It's never that box.
It's never going to get the box they want, so it's always the package in their hands. Get my double entendre. See, we're going classy this year.
Yes. It's a far superior double entendre than the one that you have to hear about from the straight guy who had that interaction later when you're in the break room with him.
Right, when so I told that lesbo about my dick.
Like, down here, they're so...
She's not going to fuck her. If she's not going to fuck you, and that was rude.
Down here, they're doing that thing. They're doing that thing down here that boomer that I was fucking with earlier today was doing, where they're pretending not to know about anything. Where they say, "I think that gal might be a lesbian." Oh, do you think so?
Do you, pal? Really?
What gave it away?
Was it the girlfriend that gave it away?
That's
Was it the
probably.
flannel?
Whoa! You can't be using think like that.
But no, like, keep in mind, the lesbians who start this fight, right? The lesbians who start this fight are, generally speaking, like the lesbians who look like Janine Garofalo, or they're really prissed up, primp, fucking
Janine Garofalo.
Yeah.
Whereas the gay dudes who have this fight are unilaterally Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
Like, there's no in between. So, like, a normal gay dude and a normal lesbian will just be like, "Don't straight people suck," and that's like about as far as it goes.
What did Milo do good on his new grift where he was like, not gay anymore? Like, what happened?
He's
Like,
gay.
really?
Yeah, but he
Wait, when did that happen?
What?
Yeah, a couple of
I
years
haven't heard
ago,
about
he said
this.
he went to pray the gay away camp and it got the gay out of his head or whatever.
Yeah,
that
but wait, are you saying
owns,
he went
dude.
back?
And they
Are you saying he went back?
Yeah, and then he said he got his butthole sewed up, but that was like it was all a ploy so he could have virginal anal sex.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I haven't heard any of this. I knew that he insisted that he wasn't gay anymore, but you're saying he went back and this is all a ploy so that he could basically claim to be a virgin again?
Well, not only that, but it was.
I'm dead. I've died. Write me off
Ooh,
for the rest of the
Madonna.
show. I'm dead.
Yeah, he had his asshole sewed up so he'd have his butt hymen again.
What?
We got a term for that. It's a behymen.
Hymen.
It's a behymen.
It's a hymen.
Love him or hate him.
But-
Truly one of the greatest grifters. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but the critical point was he did it so he could say that being gay was a choice.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
real reason he went through this game was so he could say that sexuality is purely a choice. As if, again, not to beat the old drum, but as if straight people sit around at 3 a.m. thinking am I? What am I going to choose to do tomorrow?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to choose to leave my wife and go fuck that hot guy down at the bar. It's purely a choice. I made it up on the spot. No, motherfucker.
That's normal.
Everyone is just like me and occasionally decides to do something totally out of pocket because it's always fun and taboo, right?
Hey guys, my boyfriend decided to cheat on me with a guy.
Yeah. But he'll get over it. It's just a choice. He'll stop making it.
Yeah. Eventually he'll stop. He'll stop fucking him next to me.
Josh Hallway will be president in 2024 and he'll make it illegal, so then he'll come home. I'll just vote the gay away.
I'll vote.
Vote the gay
They are
away.
trying, aren't they? They're really trying.
They are.
You know why? Honestly though, if you look at all of their moves, it's because they're really jealous that they're not the gay people.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Is it's white, cis, straight, right-wing people have, and I've talked about this for hours on the show, so I'll just mention it without going into a big spiel. But they are extremely jealous of the concept of the civil rights movement.
Yes.
That years after people suffered, that the people were treated better or given a privilege of any kind.
Yeah. Well, do you remember how many decades was it they were obsessed with being black without being black?
Yes.
Right? And there was a week in 2002 where they were obsessed with being Latino without being a Latino.
Yes.
It's not that fun.
Yeah, it's really it's kind of boring because you tend to forget that if you're legitimately Latino and not indigenous, right? Then
Yes.
you're just white but in Mexico. It's the same
I was-
thing.
True.
I was
And
talking about that on
to be
Twitter
honest
the
with
other
you,
day.
The fun part of being a Latino, white people can do already. You can go to a taco stand and eat as many tacos as you want. No one's going to
Yeah.
stop you.
You
Yeah.
totally can.
You can just throw a
Literally, no one will stop you.
You
Yeah.
don't even have to get that American shit on there. You can go legit. You can get just onions, cilantro, and the pork. You can get a real fucking taco if you want to.
It's true.
They can't stop you.
Are you worried that you can't play your music loud outside and drink in public for a few hours in your front lawn? Is that what are we oppressing between you and white Latinos? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jenk, you'll know about this one. I know you're not heavy on Twitter, but I was talking about this with the boys from Ainter Show the other day. During that time period around 2002, that was when the Homies figurines came out.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And me, as a white guy, I was like, wow, these are awesome, but there's something vaguely racist about this. And then, but then our contact from that show, who is himself of Latino descent, said, no, those own. Those are the first time that I saw any kind of positive representation at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And I
can't
was
tell
like,
you how many
fuck.
times I hear Latino people be like, yeah, no, totally. Go wear a sombrero, be as stereotypically Mexican as you want, as long as you're having fun and it's all in good fun.
Can I wear the curly boots? Because I've
Yeah, sure,
always
go for it.
wanted to get the curly boot. Really?
I don't think it's going to work for you, but go for it. There's a reason why we don't wear them either.
Honestly, it's one of those things You know what I'm saying? Like that's not actually the culture. That's like that's
Right.
That's like a stereotype generated between whites of both countries as to what the culture is. So like
The culture is having your parents place undue obligation on you and mostly yelling at you in Spanish. That's the culture. And there's no way to take that over. Like you can, what are you going to, Dan, is your father going to start yelling at you in Spanish?
Yeah, but it's a different. You know what the difference is, though? It's different from like the Jewish experience because it's not a guilt trip; it's a lecture.
It is. It is definitely a lecture.
Yeah, that's the cultural difference. Like
it becomes a guilt trip, but that's not the goal.
No, the goal was to yell at you about how inferior you are and how you should get your shit together, but it just that happens to make you feel sad.
Right. You've got it.
Yeah. No,
Are you sure you're not Hispanic?
Yeah. No. Listen, being the most intersectional member of the podcast, which is probably the most comical thing you'd ever hear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. You kind of figure these things out. You know what I mean? Like how much cope? I wonder how much cope it is because like I rag on that shit all the time. Yet I can just do intersectionality in 4 minutes because what takes liberals so fucking much to do, right? It takes them these pained, arduous self journeys. It's like you could do that in 4 minutes if you're just not fucking racist or you're not trying to pretend that you're overcoming racism.
Yes.
There's really nothing like all that interesting about being intersectional. Like, I'm sorry, like everybody makes it this big fucking deal, and ultimately, like, if you just get your shit together and are like, hey, other people exist and are people. You can just do that because you can just think that they exist and then be like, well, what would sound like shit to them? Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Oh, God, Libs, I'm glad you went on that big moral journey of 4 seconds of being like, am I the only person in the world? No. What? Shit, damn, I've been a dick.
I should probably stop doing that.
No, and
whoa, that's going too far. That's going too far, buddy.
I gotta work on being a dick.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is like it definitely the thing about intersectionality that I find the most interesting is like absolutely none of this escapes like just puritanical not intentions, puritanical reactions that are ingrained into our society on some level.
Yeah.
Because the people who profess intersectionality, well, you would presume to be the people least prone to being puritanical because they have, perspectives from the world and they're able to maybe see through that, see different perspectives or whatever. But no, it's the immediate reaction is to be puritanical. And the people who are most puritanical, of course, can't hold up to any of what they say. And the examples that I always give are the Robin DiAngelo shit where she said down low.
Yeah.
And I have a new one.
Oh boy.
Which is that I saw this courtesy of Spoonie, who is yet another person who
could never
can't
possibly live up to any of the levels that have been set.
But you know what? God bless her. She's been posting extremely hard lately. Possibly because she's very ill, but regardless,
As opposed to when she's just
she dunked on the person who is currently basically the queen of the woke hierarchy, Nicole Hannah Jones. And Hannah Jones is going on this long thing about how she's basically doing the Republican point, which is if kids stay home for 1 second because of the pandemic, it's abuse. So that's what's happening right now.
So
and
Spoonie's just being entirely correct.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, you know what?
I think you broke John's brain there for a second.
Yeah.
I caught him from left field. That's how you do it.
Yeah. No, well, listen, I'll say this much. It's not ideal, but the issue of whether or not kids should stay home is separate from the labor issue that was present in that particular tweet exchange, which was something to the effect of Hannah Jones saying, do all these teachers unions that want to do remote learning, are any of them actually providing, remote learning tools to students? And the answer is yes.
Oh, so
yeah.
she's just attacking the unions.
Yes.
Yes. Children. Oh, so she.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's like, are any of them doing this? And of course, it turns out that in one example, the main place that is insisting on remote learning is the Chicago public schools, and of course, the unions are doing something. They are providing like somewhere in the realm of 100,000 laptops to students.
Oh, okay. So
and
obviously, they're doing a racism.
Yeah. Well, so she's like, that didn't answer my question, which is weird because it did answer her question. But the thread devolves into this point where she's like, well, I don't think that it's okay that like the unions are insisting people stay home, and then the unions don't dictate to the teachers that they can't like go to holiday parties or whatever. Yeah. And Spoonie tweeted something to the effect of like, teachers are human beings, right? Yeah. And this is, of course,
got him.
At a certain point, Hannah Jones is also, and I want to make this point that's important. Hannah Jones is like, I'm a teacher and I'm in a union. So you're a college professor. These are very different things. These are like, these you couldn't have like, in terms of your set of interests, you couldn't be more different on some levels.
I mean, you motherfuckers were letting kids remote learn before the pandemic because it cut down on your workload. You motherfuckers were already doing this shit.
To be fair, all that remote learning shit really hurt the it hurt the teachers at the college level. To be fair, like that was an attack on their union. So
I can see it from that angle. Definitely.
Here's what's important about this. Neither group was being particularly intersectional, despite the fact that they're both espouse being the pinnacles of intersectionality.
Right,
and
people have said this already, but I think the thing here is that the professional class did not want their kid up their fucking ass all day. And people have said this everywhere, and I 100% agree with it. I think, like, we did the remote learning thing during the first wave of the plague. It has its good points and it has its bad points like everything else. But if you just roll with it and enjoy the time that you're spending with your kid, even though it's a massive pain in the ass and it's going to slow you down on your fucking professional ladder climbing and shit, it ain't the worst fucking thing in the world. But these cats that are out here like this is ruining these children or whatever. Nah, motherfucker, you fucked up a chapter of your novel that wasn't that good anyway, is what happened, because you had to make SpaghettiOs, all right? You were about to have a really good idea. That's what happened. 100. Like, that's what's masked behind all of this shit. And I ain't original saying that.
See, I'm gonna slightly disagree, because like, understand, and this is still my default stance. The workers should have been put to work fucking making hazmat suits. And I'm
hell
not
yeah.
joking. I'm not,
all day.
Yeah. So that way in 2 weeks we could have beaten this fucking plague, because if everybody's behind their little hazmat suit, the number of people who get affected drops dramatically, and we really don't have to do anything different in public. Right?
Yes.
I mean, I want little ass hazmat suits for kids. I want big ass hazmat suits. I actually wanted a full border lockdown, specifically against rich people, because look at the plague.
Like, you go back and you watch, like, remember the novel The Hot Zone, and they made that movie where the monkey has Ebola or whatever, and like everybody's freaking out and they're trying so hard to not get Ebola and they're going through all this shit. You watch that movie now, you're like, what a fucking jerk-off fantasy. Oh my God.
There'd be an entire 49% of the country trying to fuck the monkey.
Yeah. They're trying to eat it and rub it on themselves.
Yeah. Like, to own the libs.
Yeah, and like that's what I would have, like, this is again part of the reason that people who vote shouldn't. Like, the people who are really insistent they vote are the ones exactly who shouldn't be voting. Because like, that's exactly what I would have fucking I demanded it. Where were y'all? And everybody thought like, oh, that's fucking crazy. No, number one, who has the money to travel? Rich people. How's it going to get?
Hell yeah.
Rich people. Where did it come from? Places where rich people enter, airports, aka rich people taxis, right?
Hell yeah.
So
hell yeah. And even after things are already bad, they're going to continue to exacerbate the situation. We all know that the wealthy
have to travel to Thailand to fuck the children because they're pedophiles.
Yes, they have to go to the big Martha's Vineyard birthday party, right?
In fairness to them, Dan.
And there goes you're not being
you arrested and killed the way that they were doing it outside of Thailand.
So
God,
I do want to wrap up this point. Just put a bow on it with
let me push back. So now, failing that, right? Instead of shifting to a full, basically, hazmat for the essential workers, work from home scenario for the professional class, and then reorganizing daycares to be fully hazmated so that we have some semblance of a fucking society and can move past this shit. Instead of doing that, we dicked around because we listened to the people who are addicted to voting in bourgeoisie capitalism, who are consequently never happy with their vote because they're objectively bad at it.
Yeah.
They're bad at voting. They don't want to hear that.
Fucking awful.
But
like
they're bad at it. So if you're not
like
equipping full safety gear, a full lockdown is the only way to beat a fucking virus. And you have to be willing to enforce it. You have to have law enforcement to enforce it. That's bad because then we're in what class? A police state. So
yeah.
the only option we had to fight this virus, the first option was a labor.
Thank God we're not in one of those.
Yeah. But
like what did they do? They are fucking bad at it. What did they do? They rammed 48 mil or something like that up Jamie Harrison's ass down here to try to take out Lindsey Graham. Not one motherfucker called me or walked up to my house and told me to vote for Jamie Harrison. I got a sad fucking email that just said, "You better do your duty, motherfucker, little bitch. You better get out there and vote blue." That's all I fucking got. They didn't fucking walk around. They didn't do like people that were supporting Sanders going knocking doors and shit. They didn't do none of that shit. They just thought they were going to say that Lindsey Graham was a queer on the internet and that was going to fucking win the election.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Ironically, if they had just been like, yeah, that dude has so much gay sex in your particular area, that might have been
In your particular area.
let's cut the bullshit. He lives where we live. That's that's going to appeal to voters. Fuck knows it did John McCain in this area.
Mm-hmm. They should have been walking around, like, doing the actual work of getting everybody to go out and vote for their candidate that they burnt $48 million in a big fucking sacrifice pile. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's a lot of fucking money, man. That's a lot of fucking money to eat shit. What was McGrath? McGrath was even more, right? When they lost to fucking McConnell.
Not only lost, like, to the point where it would be unwise to even get near a fucking voting booth again if you're Amy McGrath. Because it would be a reminder of what a fucking fail you are. Instead, that goddamn dullard, they're going to run her ass again.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If I was in charge of the DNC for, like, one election cycle, I feel like I would do very well.
5 minutes, you know what? You're a sock dem, and for 5 minutes, you could do leaps and bounds better than they could.
I just feel like, with a little bit of thinking, right, I could, like, and a few $1 million, way less money than whatever they've spent. Yeah. You could fund like some shadow fund some candidate in Lindsey Graham's fucking territory and Mitch McConnell's territory to be like even more far right of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
man, and just run against him on the primary and just be like, I'm here to suck Donald Trump's dick and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
There's no way. Like, the problem is you have to pick the far right area that's still, like, viscerally offended by open racism. Because what you could do, in theory, is you could find a far right candidate, entirely pump them up and kiss their ass and be like, yeah, and they're just, like, this gross racist who, like, does enough damage to make the people who viscerally don't want to be associated with it or say later, like, who have that, like, that weird, like, thing where they're, like, racist but also have a problem lying but also don't want to, like, admit they're racist. Like, if you can demographically pinpoint that district out, you can just run a further right candidate, split the ticket enough that, like, even being remotely associated with that candidate will get them fucking owned.
Right.
And
like what I feel like is a very achievable goal. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What those dipshits thought was going to happen with Trump, but then they fucked it up.
I am for hire.
Fucking fuck up a wet dream.
Now,
DNC, I am for hire. Send all of your complaints also to admin.whitehouse.gov.
Yeah. You know what the problem with that is, though, Jenk? But see how long it took you to think that up? The problem was that district doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you ran the N-word hater who was like, I hate the gays and the blacks and all that.
Yeah, and I'm here to suck Donald Trump's dick.
Yeah, I'm here to suck Trump's. I'd suck his dick. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all gay for not doing it. Like,
Yeah.
but
I'm straight up for wanting to suck Donald Trump's dick because he's such a
I know how
man.
to serve the president and get his agenda. And part of that is
Do you think?
riding his limpy old cock? Like that
Do you think
guy
the
needs to get voted for?
Do you think the incredibly racist weirdo that I go back and make you guys watch his YouTube ad sometimes that they ran against McConnell? Do you think that guy was an op? Remember when he was calling him Cocaine Mitch and saying he was giving all his money to his China family and shit?
No.
Do you think that guy was just a legit dipshit, or do you think that guy was like a DNC
I think that guy
black
was
op?
a legit dipshit.
Yeah.
The DNC does not have the wherewithal to actually run a black op because I thought of the idea, so I know they couldn't have.
I think that's what it really is, right? Is we're sitting here talking about it like they want to win, but in reality, they're desperate to abdicate power and going back to being the opposition party, right?
See, they would have done better if they had dug into that. Like if they had secretly started funding that guy. Then he would have done better.
What they would need to do is they would actually need to, like, if they were going to run a real black op, what they'd have to do is just be like, I hate the fucking workers. I hate them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Go die
Fuck
in the
'em.
oil fields. Fuck it. It makes me money, bitch. Like
They
that's
should have
what
made
they
better
would do.
choices.
Yeah, they should have made.
Yeah, they should have gotten a better education.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about their kids. Fuck them. It was funny. I got a lot of money off of opioid stocks. Like
Learn to
that's
code
what
or
wrong.
die on Musk's asteroid mine.
And then he just needs to like, and it needs to be not leaked audio. That needs to be his entire campaign pitch. He needs to run ads. Like he needs to run ads like, fuck yeah, we made a bunch of money off your poor dead kids. So fucking get more killed. Fuck it.
That's the market. The market's more important than your dead kids.
Yeah, market's more important than your dead kids, dipshit. You're worthless.
Your kid probably shouldn't have chosen that.
Yeah, white.
Don't you?
Like if he would like if you would run like honest to God, if he would run on like of course we all know it. We all treat white people like they're surplus population. Absolutely. You're the surplus, bitch. You're useless. Fuck yeah. Can't wait for it to be, all black and gay. That's our goal. Because, like, we know that they're so afraid of losing power that they'll just suck our dicks. White men will still rule. You won't. You'll be dead. Who gives a shit about you? Like, you just... our goal is to get, like, literally, he just point blank, he's like, you, right there in the audience. Our goal is to get you killed in the war so that I make money. Be a little bitch about it and go fight. Sign up. That's why we're mad at Biden, because my fucking stocks dropped. Like, if they would fund that guy, the Republicans would lose elections because what it would do is they wouldn't vote for Democrats, but they just wouldn't vote, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, the Democrats would be like, wow, those people are a piece of shit. But the problem is then, like, if you're just going to vote for a neoliberal who believes essentially the exact same shit, like, you're just going to win. Like, you can win elections with, like, 500 votes at that point out of, like, 1,500 people.
Well, there's just so much bizarre
Berman Supreme
crossover.
will win.
Well,
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what, though? Compared to what we got.
He didn't sound that bad.
No, not really.
A libertarian fucking crank.
Hearing
who's,
coherent
like, not even
sentences.
serious enough in the libertarianism. Like, he doesn't even like libertarianism enough to like markets. I'm not saying he's good, but when you compare him to, like, Pete Buttigieg, yeah, you're going Vermin.
Vermin Supreme through glitter.
I mean, at least Vermin Supreme won't kill my dog.
Yeah.
Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme threw glitter on that homophobic rep that time to try to turn him gay in front of all those people. He threw glitter on him and he was like, he's turning gay. Like, that's pretty dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's pretty dope.
Far more useful
That
than
is-
anything a Democrat's done.
That is pretty damn good.
Yeah. So, like, I'm just going to be real about it. Like, that's what you would have to do. They would have to be willing to fund a candidate who's willing to give up the neoliberal game. What's the problem with that outcome?
You'd win.
Is that the game for them too?
Yeah.
It's their game, too.
Yeah.
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 Things. And there's no workers' party who's like, yo, those people all sit and sip tea together while your kids die, their stock goes up.
God damn, we are really funny in 2022, but we're also black-pilled as fuck.
No, we're not being
God damn.
black-pilled. Like, the thing is, like, okay, like, we are, like, the left is in a bind because the only energy we could get is in an urban area. But, like, I'm going to be fucking real ass. Like, Appalachian leftists like us, like we all basically are, let's not kid ourselves, no matter where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where we are now, we are all basically Appalachian leftists. Like, we know what the fuck
Ow.
is up, people. You
The
live
possible...
No, fuck that. Okay, true, you're in Appalachia, so you check. Obviously,
Yeah.
Jenk and I are literally sitting in Appalachia right fucking now.
I'm
We check.
literally surrounded by the Appalachian Mountains and a mountain of coal.
Same
Yep.
here, motherfucker.
Every now and then, I take a piece of coal and I chew it for extra strength.
Yeah, that's how
All in
they
all.
survive. You, Michael Jordan Peterson, not only went to school out here, lived out here for a while after school, but you're also one of our neighbors. And not one of our southern neighbors on the East Coast, not one of our northern neighbors on the East Coast, not our eastern neighbor, our western neighbor.
And even though Appalachia's forgotten it, they are there's some strong roots there between
those two states.
Between those two states.
Yes.
They forget it all the time. You know, anytime basically college football season shows up.
Yeah.
And might I point out, John, you also went to college out here, lived and worked a lot of time out here, and your politics are just as informed by that as the rest of ours.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Anybody want to say I'm wrong on that one?
Because if you've ever been here for enough time.
Hang on, I gotta cough up this black lung here to disagree with you.
No, if you've been here for any amount of time, you know things that you could never unknow.
That is some tainted air.
It's tainted. It's permanent. It's a permanent stain on your brain tissue, to where if you're somewhere more progressive, and liberals or progressives in your area are like, I think this or that about Appalachia, and you know how it really is here.
Yes.
Then that's permanently going to shade your thinking when you're listening to their bullshit. Like you
be like, you're
never
a fucking
unknow.
idiot.
Yeah, you can never unknow what you learned down here. It's not good to know it. It's not objectively good. It doesn't really help you think, but it does change you.
Staring into the abyss.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's not pretend we're not all informed by our time in the Rust Belt and Appalachia, respectively.
Yeah.
Enough that we incredibly claim we are the Appalachian leftists. And
yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Here's the other notable thing. Unlike every other, they always focus on West Virginia. They always focus on South Carolina, right? They always focus on Tennessee and Kentucky. Pennsylvania always gets left the fuck out. We have the Paris of Appalachia, motherfuckers. We are the high culture around here.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's not forget, we are, by comparison, the yuppies.
The youth of the nation.
We're the birthplace of moonshine, man. Come on.
Fuck
yes. Like down here, a guy with a Nazi flag on the back of his truck would be run out of town by a bunch of guys with Confederate flags. Meanwhile, where you live, the opposite is true.
Right.
True.
No, actually, no. It's the same. It's entirely the same.
Well, no. He's kind of right. It's just the Nazi flag is actually just, a Blue Lives Matter flag.
No, the Blue Lives Matter.
It's just the fucking Punisher skull.
What happened? Here's the difference, right? Down there, the Confederates will run out the Nazis, but they say the same racist shit, like they're somehow superior, right?
Right. Now, I ain't saying I love the Jews, but you can't be having that swastika on your truck, buddy. It's gonna get us all fucked over.
Hey, man, that's a goddamn foreign power. I hate foreigners, period.
Anybody sees that fucking swastika on your truck, Let's Go Brandon gonna come down here and black side all our fucking asses. He's gonna give us all the jab right in our buttholes, turn us gay all at the same time. It's gonna be fucking terrible.
You dumb
that fucking swastika off there and put you a respectable.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
No, but here's the major difference, right? Here's the major difference. Up here, they're just like, yeah, we don't talk to that guy. He's weird.
Yeah.
Like, we still have those good Northeastern sensibilities where we're like, really.
Yeah, that's true.
That shit. But up here, you're like, yeah, we just don't talk to that guy. Like, he's the weirdo. And you're like, you have a Confederate
flag on your truck, man.
And we're
but I don't have a Nazi flag.
Ain't like it's a swastika. Goddamn.
Yeah. Dude, you're in a northern state. You know that. Right?
They don't.
No.
The
best you'll get there is like maybe we picked the wrong side in the war.
Yeah, alternate timeline. The Confederacy takes over the United States, and the Third Reich takes over Europe. Nazis and Confederates, are they friends in 2022?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Against communism.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. God.
In the same way that you'll vaguely agree that communism is bad. They're fucking Nazis and Confederates. They're still gonna fight each other to death because they can't help themselves.
No, they're really not, because the alternate timeline you're describing is exactly what happened. So Like, all you did was describe now. Like, yeah, we know what happened.
Where's the lie?
Yeah. So, like, yeah, that's just what happened.
God. Oh. 2022, ladies and gentlemen.
Black-pilled motherfucker. We need
Oh,
a left.
God.
I'm sorry. We need a left black pill. We need to be fucking real about it. All the racists and the fucking they won. And if you notice, their ideology is death because they're mad that they won.
Yeah.
They're mad that they keep winning and they keep doing the things they like.
Yeah. Well, all I did was like round up all the fucking capital and hoard it and sit on it and then use it to hand it down to my kids and make more capital and, you know, like totally constrain the flow of capital to anybody else ever. That's all I did. And everybody's saying that like everybody's doing all this. Everybody's doing all this critical race theory to me now. Like, what the fuck? Like,
why you bitches mad at me?
Who's letting us win out here?
How am I supposed to console
irresponsible.
myself? How am I supposed to console myself from when somebody says something rude to the internet on me? Am I supposed to go roll around in my big pile of cash? Because I do it 3 times a day.
I really don't have the time to do it 4.
That's from all my money. I'm really sore, guys. God, think intersectionally. But yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, that's the one thing right-wingers, like, you know, again, are right-wingers, like, vaguely correct about, like, okay, you can't keep kids home from school forever? Yes. You know what the counterpoint was? It was your dumb asses who made sure that we needed to keep them home forever, right?
Yeah.
You got what you wanted, and now you're butthurt that there's, like, consequences to your own actions.
Yeah.
Again. You're angry again that you got what you wanted, and it sucks.
It would have been really easy, as you outlined earlier, to not let this turn into disaster capitalism, where we just like inflate the value of shit like Uber and Grubhub 10,000%, inflate the value of Amazon 10,000%, inflate the value of Zoom 10,000%. We did not have to do any of this. We could have handled this seriously from jump. Yeah, that's it. Dead ass.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I always like, the thing about at least that post that I was referring to a little bit earlier with Hannah Jones is mostly that, you know, like it's not even like discussed like what the actual solutions to these problems are, even by liberals who like, I don't know, are ostensibly supposed to be the people who are supposed to have like an imagination for policy that could do stuff or the government doing anything at all. And the thing about that post was like, at no point was it framed like, okay, like, you know, no one proposes like, okay, the kids stay home and we give parents like some stipend every day that they stay home so that the parents can afford to like take care of them when they're home, or we give them all free internet.
Right.
For the, you know, remainder of this, and even vouchers, even fucking like what used to be neoliberal ideas for, or not used to be, but what are neoliberal ideas for these being like write-offs for companies, like absolutely nothing on the table for that. Zero. Instead, It's just her being like, no, every school has to be a super spreader zone. There's no way. There's no other way. Like we don't even get to discuss like half measures. Like it just, everybody has to get it. And in that instance, when Spoonie came in and was like, well, like teachers are humans, and like, do you just want every like kid with a fucking lung problem or asthma to die? Is that like what you're saying essentially? Like, yeah, they were failing to be intersectional there. But at the same time, like, you know, it just astounds me that like they didn't even have like a tiny bit of imagination for this. Like not even a little.
You're right. It's orders of magnitude removed from what we would have described as liberalism even a few years ago, where they're absolutely going to do disaster capitalism. They're going to let all the bad things happen, but they're going to have some kind of recompense. Like they're not going to let this business go on.
They're going to make money off of it. We're not even making money off of it. None of that shit. Nothing changes. The government doesn't do anything because at this point, you know, one of the things that gets talked about with the Build Back Better bill is like, it would be good. It would be a huge paycheck to a lot of corporations. It would, you know, by their own standards, it would be good for, you know, giant businesses and corporations all across the country.
Right.
Yes.
But at this point we're at the juncture where it's better that we never set that precedent. It's over. We're not setting these precedents anymore. Like the idea that the government does anything, it's just never going to happen. It's not even on the table.
Right.
And that is more valuable than like the government doing things that make companies richer on some level.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, because what do they all run? NGOs that are supposed to be an alternative to governing.
Yeah. Yeah. So before there's ever free internet, there's going to be banner ads on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just going to become even more of a boutique thing. Anything that you need to live like you lived before the pandemic, it's going to be a boutique thing. And in a couple of more years, it's just going to be not just right wingers going on the news and saying, why do poor people have cell phones like that one fucker that time? It's going to be everybody of every stripe with any amount of wealth going on there and saying, look, it's not my responsibility to provide all this stuff to these people so they can live like we lived before the pandemic. Like, it's going to be everybody.
Yeah. Because you're not making some quote unquote nonprofit insanely rich. Which really, really big quotations around the idea of nonprofit.
Oh God, yes,
like,
at this point. Oh my God.
Yeah, like, okay. This is probably unsurprising. Not really a fan of what you would call a charity. Because if you have a CEO of a charity who's topping out, I'm going to be real generous here, at over $100,000, right? How in the fuck is that not being taxed as a for-profit institution?
Well, we all remember how quickly the groups that sprung up during the summer of the protests and the riots and everything. We all remember how quickly groups that we thought of as initially protest organizations becoming essentially corporations with CEOs and everything.
Yeah.
Like the first time somebody said CEO of Black Lives Matter to me, I thought they were fucking around, right? Like I was like, that's made up. But it's become, every group that grows to a certain size, it just corporatizes. It's like a natural reaction now.
Yeah, it's a fucking infection.
Well, it's because they built a bunch of protections and things into that moniker.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of shit for being a corporation.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It's actually more rights than being a person, as we know.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. An LLC cannot go to prison.
Right. Yeah,
and can spend more money.
Yeah.
You can spend
as an individual on elections.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that fucking insane?
Yeah.
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 If an LLC goes bankrupt, you can't hound him, all day on the phone trying to get your money back. An LLC, he just vanishes. It just vanishes like a dream in the cold morning light. Just like an NFT, just like all this other fake shit. That's it.
Except for a Sons of Trier NFT, which you can adjust the picture of if you want to. Patent
right,
pending,
those are
quote
solid.
Unquote.
Those are custom motherfuckers.
Those are a solid investment.
You don't like that monkey picture? I don't like it either. You pick your JPEG. We're going to sell you the raw hash data, fucker. That's good shit. But everything else sucks. And it's because of that. It's everything just gradually turning to vapor. Everything just gradually becoming a concept instead of a physical material thing. Their internalized hatred of the notion of communal efforts, the notion of communism, the notion of material practicality, their deeply ingrained hatred of that has eventually led to this, where everything is just vaporized into nothingness. Like, oh my God, we're funny in 2022, but this is dark shit.
Oh, it's only going to get darker, baby, because we're about to hit an election year.
Oh my fucking God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You know what spurns my ass more than an election?
Huh.
Gay sex.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, yes, but I mean that's the design. I mean,
Well, it's the
Only by
optimal
a little
form,
bit.
really.
yeah.
It's the optimal form. How do we get around the gender problem? Just don't interact with them. Give them a fucking chance to start lobbing out those heavy ass words.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. All right, boys. I think we're gonna get an opener for the year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Happy New Year's, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new Sons of Trier.
Edgier than ever. It's election time, baby. This is when we fucking shine. Let's fight some libs together. Let's make them real mad. Let's make them die angry.
Mm-hmm.
If we're gonna burn neoliberalism, let's make it burn.
Mm-hmm.
Burns so good.
Hey, Bernie.
All the way down.
Burn me, daddy.
Mhm.
All right, boys. Let's call it for the night.
Yeah.
Signing off. Fresh
Hell
out of
yeah.
prison. Sons of Trier. I'm Dan Cohen. I was joined tonight by John Sinclair.
Yes, sir.
And because we were so threatening in this episode, he'll never be back. Jank Engels.
I'm back again. Take that.
Yeah, and we're going to keep doing by erasure until he's gone. We got Michael
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson.
Super Gator prostate.
He's the only man on this podcast who can credibly say a hard C with a hard R. And we have, last but never least, the man from the abyss. The man who is not, I repeat, not guilty of manatee fucking, the true horror.
Hey, hit me up on Twitter if you want me to pay that hot motherfucker look like Johnny Depp to do some more of those videos. That he did really great.
He did. And remember, patreon.com/Sons of Trier. Pay the money, please. We're only looking to get about $100 a month out of this. That's like 20 of you, and we will so work hard for our new friends. Because we're pathetic losers.
Oh, we are whores.
We are such whores.
Yeah, I ain't got shit to do. I ain't even got a racism factory for a couple more weeks. Hit me up.
I can promise you there's no other Patreon that'll let you watch movies with the host while they make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
You will not get to hang out with us while we're having fun. That will not happen. Nobody else is doing that. Nobody else offers that.
We still got to do Volcano High.
We do need to do Volcano
Oh
High.
yeah.
I'm telling you, we get just one more patron. We just get one more patron. Double our patrons, baby. All right. Peace.